Volume 3. Chapter 1. In the wilderness, Nangong Long was riding a modified armed motorcycle carrying Busha to Jing District at high speed. Host, Nangong Long. Appearance: age, 20. Identity, Tendo Kisara's sworn brother, who disappeared 10 years ago while trying to protect Kisara from an attack by a proto-intestinal creature. Nangong Long felt that a girl's memory of her was better based on her personal experience, so he did stay there for 5 months 10 years ago. Not only did he become familiar with Kisaragi, he also met Sima Weazi, the daughter of Sima Zhonggong, and learned all the Tenryu fighting techniques. 10 years later, the system asked Nangong Long to answer another multiple-choice question. 1. The cyborg transformation card is used directly according to Genos specifications. 2. The host provides the materials and builds it according to the template. Nangong Long chose the second option without hesitation. His storage space was filled with a bunch of materials, so it was useless to leave them there. He might as well take them out and strengthen the mechanized transformation. Genos's transformation is powerful and looks cool, but he is too fragile and can be easily beaten to pieces. So Nangong Long used black dragon steel as the main material to build his body, and used magic crystals that sealed the super magic world fire to replace the ordinary flames that were originally output. In short, Nangong Long added all the materials that could be added within the prescribed restrictions, and the power was greatly improved compared to the original version. It is not an exaggeration to say that the mechanized body has been turned into a top-level artifact. The setting of black dragon steel in the game is that the dragon bones buried underground have undergone tens of millions of years of evolution and are mixed with dozens of rare metals to form an ultra-rare metal. Its hardness is difficult even for artifacts to cut. In order to shape it, it needs to be done under extremely harsh conditions. The dark red flame of the world-destroying fire has a very strong adhesion. It will never disappear until the target is completely burned. However, it can be offset by super-level magic with opposing attributes or dispelled by magic of the same level that can dispel negative effects. Nangong Long thought it would take some time to complete, but he didn't expect that the system would tell him it was completed as soon as he confirmed the materials. When the system asked whether to use the transformation card, Nangong Long chose to use it directly. After all, it was just a transformation skill and he could restore it at any time if he wanted. He also wanted to experience a mechanized body, which was pretty cool. Only after transforming into a cyborg did Nangong Long understand the meaning of Chuan. It turned out that he could transform into different versions of Genos according to his will. Nangong Long only possesses Genos mechanical structure, but his appearance is still the same, and his hair is naturally black. Afterwards, Nangong Long chose to become a promoter, and his partner was the cat-eared lowly Busha. Long, you look very happy, Busha, who was sitting in the front, turned around and asked. Because we're going to see Kijin soon, Nangong Long said with a smile. I often hear you mention her. Is she beautiful? I haven't seen her for 10 years. She must have grown into a beautiful girl. After all, she was so cute when she was little. Being unfaithful is not allowed, Busha said weakly while pouting her lips. At this moment, a large number of proto-gastric creatures appeared in front of the Gugong dragon and blocked their way. Incineration Cannon Nangong Long, who was in his initial form, stretched out his left hand and fired a flame cannon, directly opening up a way out and continuing to speed forward. They were not qualified to stop Nangong Long. This was obviously not the first time this had happened. On the way here, Nangong Long himself couldn't remember how many Gastrula he had killed. In fact, Nangong Long could choose to move directly to Jing District, but he wanted to see what the world had become, so he chose this way of moving forward. The more Nangong Long looked, the more surprised he was. This was completely out of the normal environment. All kinds of weird creatures appeared one after another. It was simply a hodgepodge. Nangong Long even wondered if there were any gastrula organisms with genes from fish, snakes, eagles, etc. mixed in, which might grow into dragons, but he had never seen one until now. The dragon is so strong, I feel like I'm completely useless, Busha said dejectedly. Kui is so cute, and I'll be 100 times more energetic as long as she is responsible for acting cute, Nangong Long said with a smile. No way, Busha retorted with a red face. Kui is so cute like this. Snort. Hold on tight, I'm going to speed up. Boom boom boom. Brother, where are you? I really miss you. Let's go, Satomi-san, Kisara said cheerfully, and then boarded the train. Yes, President. Is it okay not to bring the Yansu? We're not going to fight, we're just having a meeting, Kisara said. I don't know the details. To be honest, I hate them. They always act so superior. Then why not just refuse? We are just a small company and we can't resist at all. It's a private company, but it has to look after the government. They are jealous of the abilities of the initiators. After all, a powerful initiator can influence the world's military situation alone, so the government hopes to bring all the police officers under the system management. Really greedy. Soon, Kisara and the other arrived at the agreed location. Public institution meeting room. After resolving the conflict between Satomi and others, Kisara sat down on the high-backed chair calmly. We were assigned the last seat. It's because my subordinates are so weak that they have no achievements to show for themselves, Nangong sighed. There are people from big companies all around them, only they are from small companies. At this time a bald man came in and said, "This mission is commissioned by the government. If you are unwilling to take on the mission, please leave immediately. You cannot refuse." After hearing the detailed mission content. Seeing that no one left, he continued, "Then let His Majesty the Saint Emperor explain it next." The huge panel hanging on the wall lit up, showing a close-up of the Holy Emperor. "Please relax, everyone. This time the mission is very simple. All you have to do is retrieve the suitcase inside the gastrola. As for the reward..." Another picture appeared on the screen, and next to the silver grey box was written the reward for completing the task. But that number completely shocked everyone present. It was obvious that things were not as simple as the Holy Emperor said. "Hey, what's in the suitcase?" Kisara questioned. "Sorry, that is the client's privacy and cannot be disclosed. In that case, I choose to withdraw. There will be penalties if you quit now." "I've made up my mind. I won't let my subordinates take risks," Nangong said firmly. At this moment, a creepy laugh sounded in the room. Chapter 2. I saw a strange man wearing a mask sitting in the empty seat, as if he appeared out of thin air, scaring the people next to him and making them scream. "Who are you?" "Excuse me, I'm Yingyan's Haizi, and it's my first time meeting your incompetent head of state," Yingyan said as he jumped onto the table and looked at the display screen. "How did you get in?" asked Satomi. "Of course I walked in openly, and just killed a few guys who were blocking my way." "Come here, little Binai." "Yes, Dad." Xiao Bina came to Yingyan's side and said impatiently, "Dad, can I kill them all? It's so annoying." "Not yet, be patient. Let's play a game. How about risking your life to fight with me for the 7 Stars legacy?" "The legacy of the 7 Stars? What is that?" "It seems that you have not been told the truth. This is what is in the suitcase. Stop talking to yourself. Everything will be over if I kill you." Yi Jiangjian rushed directly to Yingyan and swung his huge sword, but was directly bounced away without even touching the opponent's clothes. At the moment the prisoner was knocked flying, the other policemen immediately opened fire at Yingyan, but as thunder sounded, all the bullets bounced off and almost hit their own people. "What's going on?" A light blue phosphorescent protective shield appeared around Yingyan, wrapping himself and Xiao Bina inside. The police officers present were stunned in shock. "Long, many people died here," Bushaqi said. "It's okay, let's go up D80606. Hearing the footsteps coming from outside the door, the two warring parties fell into an eerie silence. Nangong Long brought Bushaqi to the conference room and pushed the door open. In an instant, everyone's eyes were focused on them. "Who are you?" the general asked the man in armor. At this time, Nangong Long was in a strengthened form, looking like a human wearing exoskeleton armor. "Oh? It seems that they are not reinforcements," Yingyan said with a smile. "Like a brother, could it be?" If there wasn't a strong enemy in front of him, perhaps Kisara would have run over and asked directly. But the other party's next words made her completely unable to control herself. "Long time no see, you've grown into a beauty," Nangong Long greeted with a smile. "It's really you, brother." Nangong was so excited that he ran over and hugged Nangong Long tightly, saying with tears in his eyes, "I knew my brother must be alive. Don't cry, it's all over." Nangong Long wiped away Da Zhang's tears and teased. "I don't care, I'm just going to cry." "What a touching reunion between brother and sister," Yingyan smiled. "Do you know that interrupting others casually is very annoying?" "Oh, I'm really sorry," Yingyan said insincerely. Nangong let go of Nangong Long and wiped his cheek. "We'll talk again after we've resolved the issue at hand." Brother, welcome back," Satomi said happily. "Let's talk about the past later. It seems like you guys are in trouble." Let me introduce myself again. I am Hirako Kajin, a member of the Mechanized Special Forces New Human Project. The rumors turned out to be true, that's why you can use the shield. That's right. After all, most of the internal organs have been replaced in order to use this move. Then who are you? Yingyan asked Nangong Long. Nangong Long did not answer but disappeared instantly and kicked Yingyan with a whip kick. Yingyan was kicked away before he even had time to open the repulsive force field, but Nanlong did not use any harsh force, so Yingyan did not suffer any damage. So fast. The police officer on the scene's pupils shrank instantly. Dad, how are you? Little Bina ran over and asked with concern. I'm fine, Even without using repulsion, is it still too fast? Nangong Long said to himself. This time you activate the repulsion first, and I'll attack. The police officers present at the scene were very suspicious whether there was something wrong with their ears. If they had not just witnessed Nangong Long's speed, they would have thought that this man was here to make people laugh. Who are you? You are so strong, you can't be an unknown person, Yingyan asked again. Oh, I'm so sorry, I really am the nobody you mentioned, Nangong Long shrugged. I'm Nangong Long. My IP ranking is about 130,000. What's that? Kui, what's our ranking? Halfway through his words, Nangong Long turned around and looked at Bushi Kui and asked. When Nangong Long turned his head, Xiao Bina drew out his two swords and slashed at his head, because in the eyes of others, Nangong Long was covered in armor except for his head. Be careful, Mu Gang shouted anxiously. Except for Bushi Kui, everyone present thought that Nangong Long was dead. After all, no matter how strong a promoter was, he could not defeat an initiator. But the next scene made them open their mouths in shock. When the dagger came into contact with the head, there was a sound like metal collision, and what was even more exaggerated was that the knife actually broke. Sneak attacks are not good for children. After coming to his senses, Xiaobina immediately jumped back to Ying-Ian. 490. What on earth are you? Kabane I asked the question that was on everyone's mind. Ha 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 ha. Ying-Yan suddenly burst into laughter wildly. Dad Little Bina looked at his father in confusion, totally not understanding what was going on. I'm fine, I'm just happy to see my kind. At first I thought you were a human wearing exoskeleton armor, but now it seems that it is not armor but your mechanical prosthesis. Your strange eyes are also prosthetic eyes, am I right, Nangong-san? That's right, Nangong Long nodded and admitted. Was it caused by the accident 10 years ago? Mu Gang thought sadly. To be more precise, my performance is completely superior to yours. I have deeply experienced this, Ying-Yan said indifferently. Would you like to come to my side? After all, we are the same kind of people. I came late and don't understand what happened before, Nangong Long said with his hands spread out. Of course he knew it, but he couldn't explain it by just saying it out loud, so it was better to let Ying-Yan say it himself. Excuse me, I was a little excited and forgot about this. Let me say it again. That's about it, how about joining? Chapter 3. No, the anxious voice of Saint Emperor came from the big screen behind her. She really didn't want any more powerful enemies. One Ying-Yan was already troublesome enough. The other policemen also tensed up, ready to take action at any time. Kisara couldn't help but feel a little worried. Your suggestion is really good, Nangong Long said to himself without paying attention to the eyes of others. The others felt a chill in their hearts, thinking that they were in trouble. I knew you would understand me, Ying-Yan said with a smile. Kui, come here. Bushi Kui walked to his side obediently. Nangong Long squatted down and rubbed her head and said, I really hate those ungrateful guys. They have been protected by the children, but they don't know how to be grateful. Instead, they keep bullying, abusing, and even killing them. The Holy Emperor's eyes suddenly darkened. She could not refute because what Nangong Long said was true. Right, so this world is wrong, let's destroy it together. No, I won't stop you but I won't help you either, because I hate you too. Oh, ha ha ha, I'm actually hated. But this is enough. Without you, the rest of us won't be a problem. Ying-Yan placed a piece of white cloth in his hand and counted to 3. As if by magic, a box appeared out of thin air in his hand. That's all for today. This is a parting gift. Ying-Yan placed the box on the table, then took Xiaobina out of the meeting room. The inspector walked directly to the table and opened the box. His pupils shrank instantly when he saw what was inside. Oh no! The president was killed at home, and the head is missing. A man rushed into the meeting room and shouted in panic. Without even looking, everyone knew what was in the box. Mr. Tendo, does the new human creation plan really exist? Mishima asked angrily. I don't have to answer you, Tendo Kikunashuk replied firmly. Of course it's true, but later on, a cursed child with stronger combat power was discovered, so the plan was terminated. Long, you haven't changed at all over these years. You say whatever you want to say without any scruples. Same here, old man. Silence, the clear voice of the Holy Emperor sounded. After seeing everyone calm down, the Holy Emperor spoke again, I hope you can find the suitcase as soon as possible. This is a critical situation concerning the survival of Dekyung district. What exactly is the legacy of the 7 stars? How could it be so powerful? Asked Mishima. That is a designated seal that can destroy the Dekyung area, the Holy Emperor explained, biting his lip. So I hope that everyone can try their best to find it before Ying Ian's Haizi. Can Mr. Long come to help? The Holy Emperor requested. No, I just said it, I won't stop him, Nangong Long shook his head. But if the Dekyung area is destroyed, the people you care about will also die. Is it really okay? Of course I am confident that I can protect the people I cherish. As for other people, haha, what does it have to do with me? Nangong Long sneered. I'll tell you the truth now. The legacy of the 7 stars is a medium to summon the 5th stage of the zodiac. Even so, Mr. Long, are you sure you can protect the one you love? +4. The other police officers showed expressions of disbelief. Of course. Is this true? I've never heard that the zodiac can be summoned by humans, Satomi shouted. That's the truth. If I use the power of the head of state, can I requisition Mr. Long? I'm just an ordinary police officer with an IP ranking below 130,000. I can't do anything that's too difficult. No one would believe you. How thick-skinned do you have to be to say such a thing, everyone thought. And if you really do that, I might end up on Hirako Keijetsugu's side. Forget it then, the Holy Emperor sighed. I see that Mr. Long is very concerned about the cursed children. I am preparing to implement the new Gastrula law, which aims to allow people and cursed children to coexist. Can you help me in this regard? Said the Holy Emperor. Not to mention that the other person is the old man next to you, he will not agree, and the public is not as open-minded as you think. There's nothing for me to do here anymore, let's go. No one tried to stop Nangong Long because they didn't have the confidence that they could stop him. Wait for me, brother Tendo Civilian Security Company. Looking at the ruined company in front of him, Nangong Long said, Kisara, you're having a miserable time. Hehe, don't worry about these details, let's go in first, Mu Geng said somewhat embarrassedly. Kisara, is it okay if you don't participate? It doesn't matter, my brother is the most important. Brother, why don't you stop Hirako Ying Ian? Is there any reason? Did you figure it out? Because I need a stage 5 Gastrula. Can we win, Long? Or just forget it, Bushaqi who was sitting next to him said worriedly. How can that be? I must kill it for you. It's okay with me. I'm already very happy to meet you. I don't want anything to happen to you. Please have some confidence in me. Don't make me feel like I'm going to die, Nangong Long said while touching Bushaqi's cat ears. Bushaqi blushed and did not resist, allowing Nangong Long to play with her cat ears. Bushi Sui had already introduced herself to Kisaragi and the others on the road, so she didn't wear her hat after entering the house. You two have a really good relationship, but can you tell me what's going on? Kisara said. I need to analyze the genes of the Gastrula in stage 5 to find a way to treat Kui and the others. Brother, do you know such a great scientist? Have you been cheated? Mu Geng said with a frown. If it was really possible, wouldn't it have been researched long ago? After all, 2 zodiacs have been defeated before. Nangong Long pointed at himself and said, No, because I am the one doing the research. Brother, have you ever learned anything about biological research? Mu Geng asked in surprise. Nangong Long nodded. Although he didn't know how to do it, to become the king, the system did. He just had to defeat the Gastrula and the system could analyze the rest. Can we really win? Mu Geng asked worriedly. No problem, let's not talk about this anymore, let's talk about you, why did you run away from home? That's not my home. It hasn't been like that for 10 years, Mu Geng said angrily. Next, I briefly described the major events that have occurred over the past decade. Nangong Long naturally did not escape Kijin's questioning, but most of what he said was fabricated. After all, those 10 years were simply a blank for him. Gulp gulp gulp, Kisara's face suddenly turned red. Well, it's late, let's go out for dinner. Well, I don't have any money, Mu Geng said embarrassedly. I was so embarrassed that my brother saw me in such an embarrassing state. It's okay, I'll treat you guys to a meal. Thank you, senior brother Ritsuji acknowledged. Chapter 4. Dining room. My name is Injuehara. Before coming to the restaurant, Satomi went to the school to pick up Inju. Nangong Long, this is my partner Bushikui. You are the senior brother that Satomi often mentions. If there is no one else, it's me. It looks very strange, Yanzu asked curiously. Inju, don't talk nonsense, Rimi said hurriedly. It's okay, I don't care. Let's not talk about this anymore, let's order food first. Kijin can't wait any longer, right? Nangong Long said with a smile. No, retorted Kisara, who was sitting nearby. They sat by the window with sofas on both sides and a long table in the middle. Nangong Long sat in the middle, with Bushi Kui on the left and Kisara on the right, while Satomi and Inju sat opposite. What do you want to eat? Steak, Kisara said, immediately abandoning his reserve. Are you still honest with your mouth? Nangong Long teased. Snort. Nangong Long asked other people, and soon the ordered dishes were served. Everyone ate and talked. Don't get involved in this matter. Brother, why? I always feel like something is fishy, Mu Geng asked in confusion. You have seen the strength of Ying Yin, you can't beat him. Because of Nangong Long, Satomi was not seriously injured 10 years ago, so he was not transformed into a mechanical 720 soldier. Yeah, I understand, Satomi nodded. As for what Kisara said was strange, I have almost guessed what it was. The others did not speak, waiting quietly for Nangong Long to continue. In the meeting room, the Holy Emperor said that she intends to introduce new laws to improve the lives of children like Kui, right? So if an initiator participates in the destruction of Deking district during this period, what do you think will happen? The implementation of the new law will inevitably be hindered, Satomi affirmed. Damn it, Yeonju said angrily. Then who do you think hates the cursed child so much and yet has the ability to do this? Nangong Long induced. Mu Geng's expression suddenly changed, and he said viciously, Tendo Kikunoho, I guess it's him, even though I have no evidence. It's definitely him, but brother is still so amazing, he guessed so much from just a few sentences. Nangong Long, feeling a little guilty at Mu Geng's admiring look, decisively changed the subject. So there's no need to worry about it. He's just courting death on his own. To be honest, I really want to see how that old man resolves stage 5. He shouldn't be so stupid as to just summon without leaving any backup plan, Nangong Long said uncertainly. Who knows, given Kikunoho's hatred for the Proto-Enterans, it's really possible. The pleasant mealtime passed quickly. That's all for today. I have to find a place to live. Well, if you don't mind, you can come and stay at my place, Mu Geng said shyly. Rentaro, this guy is definitely a fake. It's impossible for him to be so gentle, Inju suddenly shouted. What are you talking about? How can I not understand a word of it? Mu Geng stared at Yanzu with an extremely terrifying look and spoke word by word. I'm not afraid of you, Yanzu said with her chest puffed out. Haha, forget about it today. I will definitely go tomorrow, Nangong Long said with a smile. Why? Mu Geng asked puzzledly. I think someone will come to see me today. Who? Before Nangong Long could answer, Mu Geng gave the answer himself. Holy Son of Heaven. Nangong Long nodded. Even if I reject her, I think she will come back to me for Dekyung district. Brother, you wouldn't have calculated this and refused, right? Then when the Holy Emperor comes to you privately, you can make any conditions you want, Mu Geng said suspiciously. How could that be? Nangong Long spread his hands and denied. I don't believe it. The Holy Princess is so beautiful, you will definitely ask her to do this and that. Geng's expression was as if he had discovered the truth of the matter. What are this and that? Nangong Long said with a wicked smile. You definitely know what I mean, Kisara said with a blush. Don't worry, my Kisaragi is so beautiful, you should have confidence in yourself, said Nangong Long, touching Kisaragi's beautiful hair. Who is your family? Of course not, you are my lovely sister. Kajin was originally very happy, but when he heard him say that, he immediately got angry. I don't care about you, I'm going back. Remember to leave the door open for me tomorrow. Just stay outside, Kisara said angrily. How could Nangong Long not know why Mugang was angry? He just couldn't help but want to tease her and go to the doctor to coax her tomorrow. Satomi, who was full of dog food, said, we have to go back too, brother. See you tomorrow. Nangong Long took Bushaqi to find a nice hotel to stay in. He believed that as long as the Holy Emperor wanted to find him, he would be able to find him no matter where he lived, but there was a prerequisite that Nangong Long did not deliberately hide himself. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Bushaqi came out of the bathroom wrapped in a bath towel. Long, I'm done. Can you help me blow dry my hair? No, go put on your pajamas first. They even prepared bath towels for children. It's true that when you spend money, the quality is different, Gyulong complained in his heart. It's okay, I don't mind, Bushaqi said with a slightly blushing face. Nangong Long held his forehead with his right hand and said, you kids are so precocious, go put on your clothes quickly. Nangong Long admitted that Bushaqi was very cute, but how could he bring himself to do that to her? He was not a pervert. I am not a Lolita control, I don't want to be a Lolita control. Nanlong muttered to himself. Just as Nangong Long was blow-drying Kui's hair, the doorbell rang. Mr. Long, please excuse my unsolicited visit, said the Holy Emperor, who was sitting opposite Nangong Long, apologetically. Behind her stood Tendo Kikunashuk. Nothing, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Mr. Long, did you guess that I would come? As long as you don't want Beijing to be destroyed, you will definitely come to me. It's obvious. Then Mr. Long must also know why I'm here. As long as Mr. Long can stop the leech shadow, I can agree to any conditions you have as long as they do not violate my principles, said the Holy Emperor after taking a deep breath. Chapter V Conditions. Does any condition include yourself? Nangong Long teased. The Holy Emperor suddenly appeared in the room. Don't go too far, Ryu, Kikunashuk said angrily. I just went too far, what can you do about it? Kr. Mr. Long, are you serious? The Holy Emperor asked calmly. Very serious. If you do something bad to me, you will become the enemy of the entire Dekyung district. The Dekyung district is almost gone, okay? Nangong Long said with a smile. Mr. Long is right. Let me think about it, the Holy Emperor sighed. Bushaqi, who was standing by, stretched out her hand to pinch the BD in front of her, but after looking around, she found that there was no place to start, so she could only withdraw her hand helplessly and muttered, Dragon H. Seeing that the Holy Emperor was really considering it, Kikunashuk immediately objected, don't agree to him, Lord Saint, we must have other ways. We have no other choice but to come here, right? We still have the army, we can definitely do it. Old man, it's you who caused the current situation, so stop pretending, okay? Nangong Long knew that Kikunoho's loyalty to the Holy Emperor was not fake, but that didn't stop him from saying so. Mr. Long, what do you mean? Said the Holy Emperor with a frown. Let the old man speak for himself. I don't know what you're talking about, Kikunoho said firmly. How dare you, old man, do it but not admit it. It was you who instigated the Hirudo Yingyan behind the scenes, right? Sir, please don't listen to his nonsense. Kikunashuk was shocked. How could it be discovered when there was clearly no evidence left? However, he remained expressionless. Mr. Long, do you have any evidence to prove what you said? No, believe it or not. I fully trust Mr. Tendo. Let's continue talking about what we just talked about. Can Mr. Long change the conditions? Nangong Long shook his head. Well, as long as we can save Jing district, I can promise you, said the Holy Emperor, biting his lip. I don't understand why you would go to such lengths for those guys. I don't think they are worth saving. I am the leader of Jing district and have the obligation to protect it, the Holy Emperor said firmly. I will not stop the summoning of Li Qingyan, but I will defeat stage 5, Nangong Long said calmly, as if killing stage 5 was as easy as eating and drinking. Obviously, the Holy Emperor was shocked by Nangong Long's words. It took him a long time to speak, is this possible? Of course, hasn't someone done it before? Long, you have become arrogant. Do you think you are strong enough to compete with the number 1 IP player? How could it be? Tendo Kikunishuk's mood eased a little, but the other party's next words suddenly made his face freeze. What qualifications do they have to compare with me? R. The Holy Emperor raised his hand to stop Kikunishuk, who was about to say something. It seems that Mr. Long is very confident in the strength of his initiator. Bushaqi blushed and lowered her head. She knew that Long was stronger than herself. Nangong Long ruffled Kui's hair and said, I have another condition. Mr. Long, please speak. I will build a house in the outer area to house the children. I don't want anyone to come and cause trouble. Otherwise, I will kill them all, even civilians. I can promise you this, and I will also provide assistance to the best of my ability. Kikunishuk did not object, and no one knew what he was planning. Now that we have concluded the discussion, we will not disturb Mr. Long's rest, the Holy Emperor said as he stood up. Finally, I'll give you a piece of advice. Don't send anyone to look for Ying Yin, as this will only lead to more casualties. I'll think about it. After the Holy Emperor left. Go back to your room and sleep, Nangong Long said to Kui. Don't want Bushaqi shook her head and ran to Nangong Long's bed, lying on it in a spread eagle position. I'm going to sleep here. Okay, then I'll go sleep on the bed, Nangong Long said with a smile. No, I want to sleep here too. Otherwise I will sneak into your bed, Bushaqi said with a red face while patting the seat next to her. I can't do anything about you after covering Kui with the quilt, Nangong Long said. Go to sleep. The next morning, Nangong Long took Bushaqi to the commercial street, ready to buy some things for Mugang, thinking that she was so poor now and probably lacked everything. The two people who were strolling around happened to meet Satomi and Anju, who were also shopping. Good morning, Ryu, Satomi greeted. Well, what are you doing here? It was Anju who forced me to come here. It's the weekend but I couldn't even sleep in, said Satomi. Rentaro, laziness is not good, let's go together, said Nangong Long. Good. The shopping team grew from 2 people to 4. Before they had been shopping for long, they saw a lot of people gathered in front, and there were also curses coming from them. Satomi instinctively felt something was wrong. Let's take a detour, it will be troublesome. No need, go and take a look. After hearing what Nangong Long said, Satomi had no choice but to follow. Catch her, damn thief, you are the pests of Dikyung district. A little girl was running wildly in front with food in her arms, and behind her were adults with ferocious faces chasing her closely. The little girl was stunned for a moment when she saw Yanzu running. As soon as she stopped, she was quickly caught by the adults behind her, and the food in her hands fell to the ground. She reached out to Yanzu for help, but Yanzu was about to respond when he was stopped by Satomi, who didn't want Yanzu to be implicated. On the contrary, Nangong Long didn't think too much about it. He walked straight up to the little girl and held her hand. Take your dirty hands away. Nangong Long said sternly, staring at the person who was holding the little girl. Who are you? She was the first one to steal the goods from our store, one of them said tremblingly. The pressure Nangong Long exerted on them was too strong. Although Nangong Long's appearance was strange, people around him were not too surprised. They just thought he was a policeman. After all, many policemen were dressed in strange ways. Nangong Long took out money and threw it at them. Get out of here before my mood gets worse. Just then a path was opened in the crowd and 2 policemen came over. Chapter 6. The security guards are here. Great, now that pest can't escape. These guys deserve to die. My relatives were killed by them. Hatred has made them unwilling to distinguish between the Gastrally and the cursed children. They dare not face the Gastrally and can only vent their anger on these non-resisting children. What happened? This red eye stole our stuff, come with us. The guard wanted to drag the little girl away roughly, but Nangong Long grabbed his wrist and he could not move. What do you want to do, attack the police? The security officer asked sternly. Nangong Long pulled the little Lolita behind him and said, I have already given you the money, you have no reason to take her away. Even if you are willing to give it, it depends on whether the store owner is willing to accept it. The older security guard sneered. Yes, I don't want it, the person next to him quickly echoed. Why can't you understand what people say? What did you say? Nangong Long grabbed the guard's head and pressed him hard to the ground. At the same time, the ground began to crack rapidly. Why bother? The people around had already retreated unconsciously. They never thought that Nangong Long would dare to do this. 676,767, after the young security guard reacted, he immediately shot at Nangong Long and did not stop until he had run out of bullets. The rescued little girl was about to rush over when she was stopped by Bushaqi beside her. The bullet shot at Nangong Long fell weakly to the ground. Seeing Nangong Long unharmed in front of them, the people standing opposite him were all stunned. "What kind of monster are you?" the young security guard said with trembling legs. "I am a monster, then what are you?" Nangong Long said disdainfully. Nangong Long pinched his neck with his right hand, and his left arm began to emit a dark red light. "No," Bushaqi said, pulling the corner of Nangong Long's clothes. Nangong Long stopped attacking and threw him out. The people around were so scared when they saw this scene that they ran away. This is a typical case of bullying the weak and fearing the strong. "How dare you not want my money?" Nangong Long said as he looked at the two people slumped on the ground. Don't dare, we want it, we'll get out of here right now, haha, you were so shameless just now. It's too late to leave now, Nangong Long sneered. At this time, Satomi came over and said, "Forget it, Long. We are in big trouble now, don't continue." "Trouble? I don't think so at all. I'm just cleaning up the scum. Stealing is wrong no matter what." After hearing what Rentaro said, Inju's eyes became a little dim. "How do you know what I did?" the little loli retorted. "What would you do if you were so hungry that you would die if you didn't eat? I will find a way to earn my own food, not steal at Satomi. Do you think these guys will give them this opportunity?" This. Arimi was speechless for a moment. Besides, do you really think she is only doing this for herself? "Of course not, there are still many sisters waiting for me to go back," said the little loli. "You heard it is." Nangong Long ignored him and kicked the two people who were sitting on the ground away one by one. "Whether you live or die depends on your own fate. It gives me a headache seeing this scene. What a trouble. Rentaro, I am so disappointed." "What's wrong?" Looking at the sad Yansu, he seemed a little at a loss. "Rentaro should be a righteous partner, why didn't you save her and stop your brother? I hate this feeling. Let's leave here first. I don't feel like hanging around anymore. You come with me." Oh, the little loli nodded. A group of 5 people headed towards the Tiantong Civilian Security Company. "Thank you for saving me," the little girl said gratefully. May I have your name?" Ellie. Nangong Long stroked his chin and thought for a moment, "Let's go to the clothing store first." With Yuri leading the way, Nangong Long and the others first bought a new set of clothes for Ellie, and then went to a hotel to let Ellie take a bath. Ellie looked very happy in her new clothes. It was almost noon when they finished all this, so Nangong Long decided to buy some ingredients to go to Mu Geng's place for hot pot. While shopping, Yanzu also regained her former energy. "Satoshi, you don't have to be so sad. Someone will take care of this matter. After all, they want me to help solve the problem of Hirako Ying-ian. Holy Son of Heaven? Kikuno Ho. I don't know whether the Holy Emperor will know, but the old man will definitely know, so he will be there to clean up the mess." I see. During the chat, the group soon arrived at the Tiantong Civilian Security Company. Nangong Long knocked on the door, but the person who opened the door was not Mu Geng but someone else. "Brother, you are finally here." Kajin pushed away the guy who was in the way. "Something happened on the way and I was delayed for a while. It's been a while since we last met." Sima Weizi pushed Kisara aside and pressed her whole body against Nangong Long. "It's really you, it's been 10 years, get out of my way." Kisara pulled Miori away without any hesitation. Nangong Long and the others then walked into the house and found a place to sit down. "What are you doing? Let me hold you for a while longer," Weizi said unhappily. "Wishful thinking, stop making trouble," Nangong Long advised. Snort. The two of them snorted coldly and stopped. "Who is she?" Mu Geng asked the strange little girl in front of him. "She is Ellie, I just picked her up on the road." I picked it up." Nangong Long briefly explained what had just happened. "This happens every day," Kisara sighed. "Let's not talk about this. How did Miori know that I was back?" "Don't underestimate the Sima family's intelligence network," Miori said with her hands covering her mouth. "But I was really shocked. I didn't expect the intelligence to be true. I have to say you look pretty cool like this. Is this material holmium metal?" Wei 0.5 Ji said while touching Nangong Long's arm. "No, this is black dragon steel. Its hardness and rarity far exceed that of holmium metal, but it does not have the ability to inhibit the regeneration of protostomes. Haven't you heard of the newly discovered metal? Miori showed great interest. Don't think about it, you won't find it. Gulp gulp gulp. Haha, let's prepare lunch first. Nangong Long looked at Kijin with some amusement. Oh, what's that sound? Miori joked. It's none of your business actually, I have always been concerned about a question, Nangong Long said as he looked Mu Gang up and down. What's the matter? Mu Gang felt a little embarrassed being stared at. Nangong Long stroked his chin and stared at Mu Gang's chest in confusion. How did you grow so big when you're always hungry? Go to hell! Mu Gang shouted with a red face. Chapter 7. Everyone is eating hot pot around the table. There is one thing I am very curious about, which is why your left arm emitted red light at that time, Yanzu said. That's an incinerator cannon. If Long gets serious, the whole block will disappear in an instant, Bushaqi explained. That's too much. Don't talk so horribly. At most, I just want to burn the guard. Nangong Long said while rubbing Kui's head. Burning the guards would be a big problem, too, Satomi complained. I'm not exaggerating. I saw it with my own eyes on the way here. The dragon blew away the entire mountain in its way, Bushaqi retorted. Yanzu almost spit out the food in her mouth. No way, I don't want to take a detour. This reason was not woven. This is really exaggerated no matter how you look at it, Yanzu said in disbelief. Kijin heard another meaning from Kui's words. Brother, didn't you come here by plane? No, because I wanted to see what the unexplored area looks like, so I came here on a motorcycle. It's a miracle that you made it here alive, Yeonju complained. It's not a miracle, it's all based on strength, Kui said indignantly. Don't worry, here you go. Nangong Long added a piece of meat and handed it to Kui's mouth. Seeing this scene, Weazi immediately opened her mouth and looked at Nangong Long expectantly, and the little lowly Ellie also followed suit. Nangong Long added 2 more pieces of meat and fed them to each of them. What are you doing? Kisara said angrily while glaring at Miori. Of course it's an exchange of love, Weazi said with a proud smile. Seeing that they were about to quarrel again, Nangong Long decisively fed Mu Gang a bite. BG. What are you doing? I didn't tell you to soar, said Mu Gang with a red face. In order to hide his shyness, Mu Gang changed the subject. Did the Holy Emperor come to see you yesterday? Of what conditions did you propose? I plan to build a house in the outer area to house them. I just want to remind her that I will kill anyone who makes trouble, Nangong Long said, touching Ellie's head. Do you need my help? This isn't an easy task, Weazi said. I'll tell you if you need me to. That's not what you said yesterday, Bushaqi revealed. Does any condition include yourself? Bushaqi imitated Nangong Long's tone and repeated what he said yesterday. You little traitor, Nangong Long said with amusement while pinching Kui's cat ears. Can you tell me what's going on? I'm curious. Me too. Kisara and Miori exuded a very terrifying aura. I just said it casually real. Of course, you have to trust my character. Well, for now, let's just assume that what you said is true, said Kisara. By the way, Long, you haven't joined any security company yet, right? How about coming to my house? Weazi suggested with a turn of her eyes. As long as you are willing to come, you can do whatever you want with my body, Weazi said temptingly. Impossible, if you want to join, you'll have to join my company, Xiu Geng said viciously, glaring at Chuangji. How dare you work for such a poor company? Miori glared back without showing any weakness. So what? The strength of a company is not determined by its appearance. Strong reasoning, please choose one, they both looked at Nangong Long and asked at the same time. I'd better join Kisara's company. After all, if I'm not around, she'll have to skip meals again, and it's not good if she's hungry. Nangong Long glanced at Kisara's chest and Miori and the others naturally understood what he was talking about. Even though he was extremely shy, Kisara still looked at Miori with pride. Hey, I won't give up. After the pleasant meal, Nangong Long accompanied Ellie back to District 39 and gave all the things they bought to the group of little Lolas. He returned to Kisara under the Lolita's reluctant gazes. Nangong Long plans to build a school in District 39 after dealing with Scorpio. I believe we will meet again soon. Next day Nangong Long learned the approximate location of the source of infection, the spider-type Gastrula, from Mu Geng and took Bushi Kui to its location. Looking at the spider floating in the sky, Kui asked, Do you want to take it down? No need, we are just here to watch the show. At the height of the gastrula slowly decreased. When it reached a certain level, a petite figure jumped out of the forest, and with a flash of a knife, it cut the gastrula into several pieces. Dad, recycling is complete. Well done. At this time, Nangong Long came over. Nice to meet you again, Nangong-san. Are you trying to stop me? Just giving you a piece of advice. I don't want any initiates to die at your hands. Got it. I understand, Ying Yin replied. After expressing his understanding, Ying Yin took Xiao Baina away. To be honest, he did not want to have a head-on conflict with Nangong Long before the plan was completed. Time flies, and in the blink of an eye it was evening of the next day. Brother, you must come back, said Mu Gang. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Unexplored areas. Boom! A loud noise was heard in the silent forest. Someone used a grenade incineration cannon. Nangong Long burned all the guys who were in the way to ashes. 497. Let's go. Relying on his searching ability, Nangong Long quickly arrived at the edge of the cliff. Bushaqi understood Nangong Long's meaning in an instant and jumped onto him and hugged his neck. Nangong Long jumped off the cliff, and the powerful impact caused the ground to crack rapidly. Dragon, there is light ahead. Kishao Natsuyo looked warily at the two people who suddenly broke into her hiding place. It's you, Xiaoxi said in surprise. Don't try to be stubborn if you are injured, Nangong Long said as he walked up to Xiaoxi. Then, Nangong Long handed Xiaoxi a bottle of potion. What is this? Xiaoxi asked curiously. It's a healing potion. Your injuries will heal immediately after you drink it, Bushaqi explained. After drinking the potion, Xiaoxi saw his wounds heal quickly and muttered, a new type of medicine. Here, eat something. Xiaoxi took the bread and looked at Nangong Long in confusion. Where did you get these things from? I can do magic, isn't that great? My IQ is about 210, do you think I would believe it? Forget it, why did you come here? Are you regretting it? Xiaoxi asked. No, I'm waiting for the zodiac. Xiaoxi's pupils shrank slightly, and he said, what a crazy man. Chapter 8. What are your plans next? Wait for Mr. Zhang Jian to contact you. Don't get your hopes up. I understand. After a moment of silence, Xiaoxi said, I envy you. My husband takes good care of you. At this time, the communicator placed next to Xiaoxi made a chaotic sound, and then gradually became clearer. Hey, are you still alive? I'm so glad you're okay, mister. How could I be in trouble? I have good news for you. We found that BD and are about to kill him. The supervisor described the location. You should come here soon too. After saying this, he unilaterally cut off contact with the prisoner. Xiaoxi got up, put out the fire, put on his luggage, and prepared to leave. We'll go with you. Thanks. Nangong Long took Kui and left for the agreed location. We still inevitably encountered gastrula on the road, but no matter how many of them came, they would just die. Are all the mechanical soldiers of the new human plan so powerful? Xiaoxi sighed. No, I'm an exception. That's right. If they were all so strong, they wouldn't need us. After walking for a long time, they arrived at the agreed location, but there was no one there. It looks like they've left. You two stay away from me. Bushaqi pulled Xiaoxi to the side, and then Nangong Long jumped up from the ground and leaped directly into the air hundreds of meters high. Can you do this? Xiaoxi asked with his mouth open. I can't do it. A few dozen meters is already the limit, Bushaqi said, shaking her head. Soon Nangong Long fell rapidly from the sky. When he was approaching the ground, dark red flames spewed out of his hands to slow down the force of his fall. The main purpose of doing this was to avoid the shock wave affecting Kui and the other person. I saw a light in the church over there, but there was no sound of fighting. I'm afraid it's... I understand. Let's go over there. Wait a minute, Nangong Long, who was moving forward, suddenly spoke. What's wrong? Xiaoxi asked. Let me take care of the trouble behind me first. Nangong Long turned around and put his hands together and stretched them towards his chest. His arms and shoulders began to deform rapidly and a large number of gun muzzles appeared with ominous flames flashing inside. An incineration cannon. The fierce flames swept towards the countless gastrula creatures in front, and everything was reduced to ashes wherever the flames passed. Done and called it a day. Nangong Long pinched Xiaoxi, who seemed to be in a daze, recovered. Hey, your strength doesn't require a starter at all, Xiaoxi said after taking a deep breath. Who said that? I was counting on Kui to act cute for me every day, otherwise I wouldn't have the motivation to work. You do this again. Bushaqi said shyly with a blushing face. You are really weird, Xiaoshideo said. The three of them quickly arrived at the church and saw the corpses scattered all over the ground. The result was obvious. Hey, classmate Nangong, you are here too. Let us enjoy the coming of divine punishment together. Ying Yan's Haizi opened his arms and looked at Nangong Long and invited him. Operational headquarters. The conference room fell into deathly silence. Through the real-time images transmitted back by the reconnaissance drone, they saw that the police officers who rushed to the scene were completely wiped out without any resistance. Where are the other police officers nearby? Saint Emperor sighed. The fastest one will arrive in an hour, said the defense minister, wiping his sweat. Please make the decision, Lord Saint. The door opened and two girls walked in. Who are you? Step back, I asked them to come here, said the Holy Emperor. President Tendo, what do you think of Mr. Long's chances of winning? 100% if what Bushaqi said is true, I really can't imagine the possibility of Long losing, said Weizi. That's too naive. How can we, as mechanical soldiers, definitely win? The chief cabinet secretary sneered. Kui, go gather up the initiators who are still alive. Good, I'm not interested in divine punishment, Nangong Long said, looking at Ying Yin. Version upgrade Turbo. Nangong Long directly skipped G4 and upgraded himself to turbo mode, then rushed straight towards Ying Yin. Repulsive force field. Nangong Long punched the invisible barrier, but it only paused for a moment, and Ying Yin still couldn't escape being blown away. Ahem, this pain, ha 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 ha. I can feel that I'm still alive. It's awesome, Dad. If I don't beat you up, I'll be really upset. How is it possible? Said Chief Cabinet Secretary Zhu Sheng. It looks like there's no problem, the Holy Emperor breathed a sigh of relief. Do you feel that the dragon's appearance has changed a little? Miori looked at Kisara and said. Really little. Bina slashed directly at the hateful guy who injured his father. Frankly speaking, except for its extremely fast speed, Xiaobina's swordsmanship was completely random. Nan Xiaolong easily blocked all the attacks with just one hand. It's useless. In my eyes, your speed is no different from that of a snail, and even if I stand still, you can't cut me. Kabanei's double swords broke again. Xiaobina hates you, a guy who can't be cut. Come back, Dad, I tried my best, little Bina said dejectedly. Unlike the last time, this time Xiaobina used all his strength but still couldn't do anything to Nangong Long. It doesn't matter, I'm getting more and more curious. Which genius made the transformation for you that could completely defeat the initiator? Ying Yin said. You didn't kill the initiator, so I won't kill you this time, so leave now. Hidden Zen. Black Sky Wind. We won, great. The people in the conference room cheered, but soon they stopped laughing because the zodiac sign Scorpio appeared. Stage 5, like a mountain, began to move towards the debeijing area. I finally waited for you. Is this stage 5? Xiaoxi, good one, and Kui said in shock. That's right, you wait here for me, I'll go and kill it. At this time, Nangong Long's cell phone rang. Hey, what's up Muzhen? Brother, I have already proposed to the Holy Emperor that you can use the ladder. Not necessary, brother, can't we just defeat it? There's no need to do it yourself. Besides, you are at least 50 kilometers away from it now, Mu Gang shouted. Trust me, it's okay. If I win, how about you wear a nude apron? That way I'll have a reason to win, right? Mu Gang on the other end of the phone had a face as red as a cooked crab, and steam was still coming out of his head. Okay, then, it's settled, Mu Gang replied stutteringly. What did Long say to you? Weizi replied suspiciously. Unfortunately, Kisara was still immersed in his own world and didn't answer her. Chapter 9. Dragon H. Bushaqi pouted and said unhappily. It's obvious that I already have one. You'd better wait a few more years to grow up, said Nangong Long, rubbing Kui's head. Snort. You two have such a good relationship, Xiaoxi said enviously. You two just wait here for me to come back, okay? Clear. Hey, wake up, what did Long say to you? Miori asked while shaking Kisara. Oh, Long said he can do it himself without the need for a ladder. There has to be a limit to arrogance, the chief cabinet secretary said with a grim expression. Then go by yourself. Just shut your mouth if you can't. Mu Gang retorted bluntly. R. Okay, everyone be quiet, said the Holy Emperor. The chief cabinet secretary immediately shut up and said nothing. President Tendo, did you tell me how to get there? No. Hey, why is the dragon gone? Weazi, who had been staring at the screen, said in surprise. What? Find it for me quickly, the Holy Emperor ordered hurriedly. Yes, the operator began to sweat. Finally, he couldn't find the image and could only slow down the image several dozen times to give it a try. Only then did he find a blurry figure. Saint Emperor, the other party did not disappear, but moved too fast to be seen by the naked eye. Are you kidding me? The chief cabinet secretary snapped. No, this is what I saw after slowing down just now. The operator hurriedly projected the captured images onto the big screen. Everyone present gasped. Can't it be clearer? The Holy Emperor asked calmly. If it's slower, you can only look at pictures. It doesn't matter. Finally, the operator transferred the processed and clear images to the big screen. Nangong Long was seen running, with dark red flames spurting out from his shoulders and legs. Can mechanical soldiers really achieve such a level? The chief cabinet secretary said in disbelief. Haha, the dragon transformer must be a genius, Miori laughed with her hands covering her mouth. In just a few tens of seconds, Nangong Long arrived in front of stage 5. Boom boom boom, Seif, countless shells hit Scorpio, but they were useless under the powerful regeneration ability of Phase 5 and the shells were quickly squeezed out of the body. Scorpio let out an unpleasant cry and waved its tentacles to shoot down all the attacking drones. I can only rely on you, Mr. Long, the Holy Emperor thought. Stop all shelling to avoid hurting Mr. Long, ordered the Holy Emperor. No, but didn't you see it just now? OUG is completely useless against it, the Holy Emperor said firmly. Yes, Nangong Long followed Scorpio's huge body and began to move towards his head. Machine gun punch. Nangong Long broke all the attacking tentacles. After reaching the head, Nangong Long jumped up into the air, and a strong light began to emit from his chest. Super spiral incineration cannon. In the pitch-black night, a huge column of dark red flame shot towards Scorpio, piercing straight through its head, and even the sea level behind it was split in two. Scorpio regenerates its cells at an extremely fast rate, but unfortunately the karmic fire destroys them even faster. Hades of Erosion. This is a curse magic that is specifically used to deal with monsters with strong recovery abilities. It can suppress their regeneration ability. Nangong Long still needs Scorpio's body for analysis and as a raw material for making medicine, so naturally he doesn't want the karmic fire to burn it. After destroying Scorpio's brain, Nangong Long stopped the karmic fire from burning and stored the entire Scorpio into the system space, handing it over to the system for analysis. Meeting room. When Nangong Long launched the fire bombardment, the people in the conference room were already stunned with surprise. Now I absolutely believe that what Bushi Sui said is true, Miori exclaimed. Hey, I have always believed in my brother. President Tian Tong, what are you talking about? Shang Tianzi asked curiously. On the way here, my brother flattened the entire mountain that was blocking the road, Mu Geng said proudly. Is it necessary to be so willful? The officials present thought speechlessly. Even if his flames are very powerful, can they destroy the regenerative ability of the gastrula? The chief cabinet secretary questioned. At this moment, the picture changed again. The gastrula stopped moving and remained motionless as if it were dead. Everyone looked at the chief cabinet secretary with strange eyes. However, the changes were not over yet, and Scorpio disappeared from the screen. Did we win? Weazi said with her mouth wide open. I think so, Kisara responded mechanically. But why did stage 5 suddenly disappear? Asked Miori. I don't know either. Hey, anyway, we won, Xinweiza said with a long sigh of relief. Yes, we won. The conference room was filled with cheers. Church, welcome back, Kui said happily. Let's go back. Mr. Long was eliminated in stage 5, right? It disappears for the same reason as you create bread, Xiaoshi guessed. You guessed it after just one look, you're truly a genius with an IQ of over 200. What exactly is that, can you tell me? Yes, to put it simply, it is similar to space compression technology, which can store objects in a specified space. Do you understand what I mean? It's possible, but I just find it incredible, Xiaoshi nodded. The general is dead, what are your plans for the future? It will probably be recycled to IISO. Would you like to follow me? May I certainly, then please give me more advice in the future, Xiaoxi said with a smile. After the unconscious initiators woke up, Nangong Long took them away. When passing by District 39, Nangong Long sent them to Ellie. After all, if they were taken back, they would be recycled by ISO. He will come to District 39 to build a base tomorrow. On the barren mountain, after seeing Nangong Long destroy Scorpio, Hirako Yingyan laughed wildly and disappeared into the jungle with Xiaobina. Chapter 10. Kisare, brother, where did Scorpio go? Nangong Long repeated what he had said to Xiaoxi, to Kajin and the others, and also explained the reason for his change in appearance. This is Xiaoxi and he will stay here in the future, said Nangong Long. Welcome aboard, Kisara said with a smile to Natsuyo. Please advise me, brother, the Holy Emperor has invited us to attend tomorrow's celebration. Do you want to go? Do you think it's necessary to go? It's better to show up. Then go ahead. Don't ignore me, Miori complained. Hey, you're still here. Mu Gang pretended to be surprised. Of course I was there. After all, I always felt that your face was red and it was abnormal. You immediately changed the subject when I asked you something. It was really suspicious. Miori stared at her with suspicion. Even. What's it got to do with you? Mu Gang said firmly, but his face began to turn red again. You see, that's it, Long, what did you say to her? Weazi asked, staring at Nangong Long. Oh, I. Don't say it, or I'll quit, Mu Gang interrupted. There's nothing I can do, Nangong Long spread his hands to indicate that he was powerless. It's suspicious, too suspicious. I've decided to stay here today. No, there's no place for you to live here, Mu Gang objected firmly. It's okay, I can live with a dragon, I don't mind, Miori said with a smile covering her mouth. That's even more impossible. The two quarreled again, and in the end, neither could do anything to the other, so they had to compromise with each other. Miori was pulled into Mugen's room to watch over her to prevent her from sneaking into Nangong Long's room. Well, it seems that I won't be able to see Kajin's naked apron today, Nangong Long thought with regret. However, there is still a long time, so there is no need to rush and go to sleep. The next morning Nangong Long woke up to Mu Geng's roar. What's wrong? Xiaoxi rubbed his eyes and said in confusion. Is it morning yet? Kui said. Brother, what's going on? The scene that appeared in Kajin's eyes was that Bushi Kui was holding Nangong Long's arm, and Xiaoxi was lying on Nangong Long's chest, looking like he had not woken up yet. They must have sneaked here on their own. In fact, Nangong Long can sleep or not, choosing to sleep is just his habit. Oh, so Long likes little Loli, no wonder he rejected my invitation. Miori looked very sad. Of course, Long is a Lolita complex, so you don't stand a chance, Bushikui interrupted. Don't talk nonsense, Long said, grabbing Kui's cat ears. After some noise, Nangong Long finally managed to get up. Here, clothes for the party, Mu Gang handed the clothes to Nangong Long. Nangong Long put on the suit casually, and Mu Gang pouted in dissatisfaction. Be serious, Kisara said as he sorted it out for him. That's much better, hey? The tie is still a little off. Kajin untied his tie and tried to tie it again, but after trying for a long time he was still not satisfied and his face turned red. Let me do it. Miori squeezed through Gang and saw the two of them showing their affection in front of her. She had been enduring it for a long time. Look, what do you think? Weazi looked at Kun Gang provocatively. Snort. By the way, Kisara, where do you get the money to buy clothes? Brother has completed the mission of the Holy Emperor by dealing with Hirako Yingyan and Scorpio, so he received a large reward, said Mu Gang with a smile. I see. What's your brother's account number? I'll transfer the money to you. No need, I'll leave it where you are. Tisk, a kept young lady, Miori said sarcastically, emphasizing the last three words especially. Mu Gang blushed. I am happy to. Haha, I don't mind raising her for a lifetime, said Nangong Long, touching Mu Gang's hair. Brother. Mu Gang lowered his head shyly. So biased, Weazi curled her lips. You are a real rich girl, do you still need me to support you? Nangong Long teased. Of course. Haha, fine, I'll raise them all. That's more like it, said Miori with a smile. Okay, you guys should go change your clothes too. Kisara and the other returned to their room and changed into dresses for the banquet. Very beautiful. Kisara was wearing a black dress, while Miori was wearing a light pink dress. What about me? What about me? Asked Miori. It's also beautiful, then who of us is prettier? Miori asked. Mu Gang looked at Nangong Long expectantly. Each has its merits. Tea time is almost up, let's go, Nangong Long said, changing the subject. Asterisk 1.0 I've asked someone to pick us up, said Weazi. Everyone went out and got on a luxurious stretch car to the banquet venue. Holy Residence. Nangong Long pushed open the door in front of him, and the scene suddenly became quiet. The Holy Son sitting on the throne smiled slightly. Mr. Long, you came just in time. The Holy Emperor walked down the steps and came in front of Nangong Long. Natsuyo, Midorikawa, Kisara and Miori stood a little further back. How does it feel to be the savior? I'm not a savior, and the world doesn't need me to save it. The absence of anyone in this world will not have any impact on the world itself, said Nangong Long, shaking his head. The Holy Emperor's face froze, but he immediately said, "0 Mr. Long is joking. Mr. Long will continue to work for Dekyung District in the future, right? Don't you know very well why I'm fighting?" Nangong Long said with a wicked smile. The Holy Emperor's face suddenly turned red. Ahem, that's it. I now announce that based on the results of this incident, the IP ranking of Nangong Long and Bushaqi will be raised to the 1000th place. The people at the scene were suddenly excited. I always feel that there is something fishy here, Miori whispered to Kisara. I will keep a close eye on my brother, said Kisara, clenching his fists. Mr. Long, are you willing to accept it? Good so, Mr. Long, do you have anything else to say? No, then this ceremony is over. Please feel free to do as you please. After saying this, the Holy Emperor was about to leave the banquet. When he passed by Nangong Long, he whispered, Mr. Long, please come with me. Seeing that Nangong Long was about to leave with the Holy Emperor, Mu Gang blocked their way. Brother, where are you going? Mr. Long and I still have something to discuss, the Holy Emperor replied. Mu Gang could only move aside helplessly after hearing this, but she approached Nangong Long and warned him quietly, don't do weird things. What about you? Nangong Long teased. Mu Gang's face turned as red as a ripe apple, and he didn't even notice that Nangong Long and the other man had left. Kigara, don't be so shy all the time, Miori said with a headache. What do you care? Kajin turned his head away from Miori's sight. Chapter 11. The Holy Emperor brought Nangong Long to her office and walked into the lounge further inside. Who, Mr. Long, this is it. Take your reward. The Holy Emperor took a deep breath and sat stiffly beside the bed. From her expression, one could tell that she must have abandoned her personal feelings at this moment. Seeing her like this, Nangong Long couldn't help but feel a little touched, and he didn't even feel like teasing her anymore. He walked up to the Holy Emperor, sighed, and said, I don't like the way you are now. The Holy Emperor, who was already trembling all over because of Nangong Long's approach, trembled even more violently now. Nangong Long placed his hands on the shoulders of Saint Emperor and said gently, I won't do anything to you, it was just a joke that day. The Holy Emperor was a little stunned when he heard this, she had not thought it would unfold like this, and Nan August 17th Gong Long was still talking. Don't do things you don't like. There's no need to sacrifice yourself for others and force yourself to do things you don't like. People live for themselves, not for others. I'm done, I'm leaving. Just as Nangong Long was about to turn around and leave, the Holy Emperor suddenly grabbed him. Why? Because I don't want to see you unhappy. What's going on? Why is my heart beating so fast? Am I not beautiful? Beautiful, beyond description. Then why isn't there? If you were looking at me with a smile and shyly just now, I would have pushed you down without hesitation, Nangong Long said with a smile. The Holy Emperor blushed and chuckled, Mr. Long has so many requirements. The Holy Emperor suddenly stood up and quickly kissed Nangong Long on the cheek. This is my personal thank you gift. Can I give you a kiss? The Holy Emperor was halfway through his words when he covered his mouth in surprise at Nangong Long's change. What's going on, Mr. Long? It turned out that Nangong Long had lifted his transformation and returned to his human appearance. I can switch between mechanization and human at will, and it's not surprising or surprising. The Holy Emperor poked here and there curiously, which made Nangong Long frown. Really? There's no metallic feel at all. I didn't expect you to have such a childish side, Nangong Long teased. No, humph. Do it again here, Nangong Long said, pointing at his lips. The Holy Emperor's face turned red with embarrassment, but he still pecked Nangong Long gently on the cheek. It's not the face, it's here, that's it. Well, let's leave it for next time. Seeing that steam had begun to come out of the Holy Emperor's head, Nangong Long thought it would be better not to continue teasing him. Am I the only one who knows about this? For now really, the Holy Emperor said happily. Okay, go ahead. I have to start taking care of government affairs. It seems like I'm going to be ruthlessly driven away. Nangong Long spread his hands and pretended to be sad. No, I don't mean that, the Holy Emperor quickly waved his hand to deny it. When he saw Nangong Long's teasing look, the Holy Emperor realized that he had been deceived again. You lied to me again. The Holy Emperor clenched his fist and hit Nangong Long because you're so cute when you're silly like this. Snort. After sending Nangong Long away, Saint Emperor sat on his office chair, touched his chest and muttered to himself, what's wrong with me? Nangong Long, who had regained his mechanization, walked out of the office. As soon as he opened the door, he saw Kajin and the others standing outside. What are you doing? Being a guard? Nangong Long asked with a smile. Mu Geng went straight to Nangong Long and sniffed him. He didn't know what he smelled, but his brows suddenly frowned. Why did you turn into a puppy? Brother, you smell like her. Tell me what you did in there. Tell the truth, Weazi echoed. Xiaoxi watched this scene with great interest, while Bushaqi lowered her head and muttered something. How is it possible that I am not stained with any smell when I am with her? Besides, what can I do in such a short time? Nangong Long said innocently. It's not short at all. From the time you entered the door to the time you came out, it was a total of 31 minutes 57 seconds 69. I was talking on the phone the whole time, said Weazi. Please, this amount of time is not enough for me. Oh, how long will it take you? Miori asked without any shyness. You will know if you try it yourself. Okay, you shameless guy, I'm going to sing you guys. Mu Geng stared at Suorai fiercely. Come on, who's afraid of who? Weazi refused to give in. Nangong Long quietly gestured to Xiaoxi. The two people who were still arguing suddenly realized that the person was gone. They turned around and saw that Nangong Long had gone far away. Brother, wait for me. Kisara chased after him, and seeing this, Miori also hurriedly followed. Kisare, why are you still here? Kisara looked at Miori unhappily, who refused to leave. Ah, I can stay as long as I want. Don't push your luck. Okay Kisara, Miori will come back sooner or later. I don't believe she will ignore her own company. Asterisk 4. I'm going to the outer area, do you want to come with me? Certainly. Long, are you ready to build the house? Asked Weazi. Okay, I'll call someone to help. No, I have my own way. District 39. Nangong Long knocked on the manhole cover on the ground. Ellie opened the manhole cover and saw a familiar face and smiled. You are here, we have been waiting for a long time. Have you notified the other children in District 39? I have already done this. Ellie, 2.3 expressions of you praising me. What can Ellie do? Of course, Ellie said proudly. Go get all the kids here, I'm going to start working. Okay, I'll call my friends to go with me. Half an hour later, the little Lolas gathered one after another. Is he going to adopt our big brother? I think so. It looks weird. Can Big Brother support so many people? A little girl asked worriedly. Have no idea. You won't do this or that to us, will you? The topic seems to have gone in a strange direction. It's all here, Ellie said. There weren't as many little Lolas as Nangong Long had imagined. Chapter 12. There are probably 750 million people still alive in this world, less than 100 cities remain, and occasionally mass extinctions occur, causing cities to disappear. Cursed children only account for a small proportion of newborns. They may be abandoned as soon as they are born, and if they are abused by people, even fewer of them will grow up. Moreover, without inhibitors, their erosion rate will increase rapidly, and it is unknown when they will turn into gastrula. IISO would also come to the outer areas regularly to capture talented children. The above was the reason why there were less than 5,000 Lolas in front of Nangong Long. Nangong Long brought the Lolas to a spacious open space and asked them to wait for him there. Brother, what are you going to do? Burn something. Nangong Long walked through all 39 districts, burned all the things that were in the way, and then returned to where the Lolas were. Can I perform a magic trick for you? Okay, the young Lola's tender voices rang out. Long, what are you going to do? Where are you going to arrange so many children? Asked Wei 24zhi. Nangong Long smiled without saying anything. He picked a suitable open space, took out the magic crystal and activated the magic sealed in it terrain reconstruction. Town. This is the 5th tier magic, which is not very high level. Its only function is to transform the battlefield into a town to prevent the team from being surrounded or sniped from a distance. However, this function is only useful in the early stages of the game, and is useless in the later stages when encountering those earth-shattering moves. Nangong Long took it out at this time not for fighting, but to create a home of their own for the lowless. Nangong Long also has magic to create houses, but what he built are all fortress level, which is basically not related to a home. The most important thing is that no one except him can open Yaoan's door. The lowless looked at the scene in front of them curiously, and saw houses appearing out of thin air, but not at all abrupt, as if they were supposed to be there. Kisara and Miori were so shocked that they were speechless. The scene before them was simply a ruthless trampling of their 3 views, and it had been trampled on countless times. The town is similar to Western architecture, but the interior is completely modern. After all, the game is played by modern people and it is impossible to design it completely according to mythology. Not only that, even the corresponding stores have corresponding items placed in them. This is just a matter of words for the game setting, but it is completely reproduced in reality. This will be your home from now on, Nangong Long said with a smile. Yeah, we have a home. The lowless happily played with each other. Big brother, is this true? A little girl with purple hair asked anxiously. Of course, as long as I'm here, no one will bully you, Nangong Long said gently, touching her little head. The little girl tried hard to hold back her tears and not let them stay. Cry if you want to. The little girl burst into tears, which seemed to be a signal. Most of the little girls started crying too. Only a few did not cry and were still comforting the younger children around them. There is a place to live, but there are not enough people to take care of them. Maybe in the future, they will accept humans who are willing to live with the children, but for now, they have to figure out a way on their own. Nangong Long picked up the purple-haired lowly with one hand and let her lean on his shoulder, with his empty right hand ready to cast the next magic. At this time, Mugeng and the other man, who had finally recovered, were about to ask what was going on when they saw something similar appear in Nangong Long's hand. Maid creation. This was only a 3rd-tier magic, and its only effect was to create 51st-tier artificial maids. Their appearances were randomly generated, so they couldn't be compared to the maids that Nangong Long's companions had carefully designed, but they were still much prettier than ordinary people. Each maid was given her own name the moment she appeared, which saved Nangong Long the trouble of thinking of names. It's still not enough. Nangong Long took out a few more identical crystals and stopped only when the number of maids reached 300. It should be fine for now. There are 2 reasons why Nangong Long has so many such low-level props. One is that he saved them by spending money on lotteries, and the other is that he purchased them before the game was shut down. After looking at the maids, Nangong Long felt that he should create a few leading maids, who would also serve as managers of the city. Creation Guards Battle Maid. This is a 5th-tier magic crystal, which can create a group of 10 combat maids at around level 30. If you're lucky, there might even be 1 or 2 maids at around level 40. To put it bluntly, it all depends on luck. Apparently, Nangong Long's luck was pretty good, as a level 40 silver-haired maid really appeared. Greetings to the Supreme Lord, hundreds of maids knelt in unison. Get up from now on, your task is to take care of these children. We will swear to complete the orders of the Supreme Lord until our death. Not that exaggerated, Lena, I appoint you as the head maid, responsible for assigning work, Nangong Long said to the silver-haired maid. Clear. The moment the maids appeared, their names automatically came to Nangong Long's mind. Big brother, are you a god? The purple-haired lowly in his arms asked in admiration with starry eyes. I'm not a god, I'm a big devil who specializes in catching cute little girls like you, Nangong Long threatened. Brother, you are lying, I don't believe you. And you don't have to catch me, I will go with you by myself, the little lowly said cutely while blinking her big eyes. Haha, you've been crying for so long, but I still don't know your name, Nangong Long asked while pinching her face. My name is Leia, and I am 6 years old. Bushaqi came back to her senses and tugged at the corner of Nangong Long's clothes, opening her arms as if she wanted a hug too. There was no other way, Nangong Long could only pick her up with his other hand. Xiaoxi was much quieter. He just watched Nangong Long from the side without saying a word, and no one knew what he was thinking. I want a hug soon, a group of little Lolas surrounded Nangong Long, and one of them even climbed onto Nangong Long and hung on him. Haha, stop making trouble and follow us to where you live. There are not only new clothes but also delicious snacks there. Good. The little Lolas were very obedient and left in groups following the maids. After Nangong Long said that he would visit her often, Shia left with her friends. Chapter 13. Only after the Lolas left did Mu Geng and the others have the chance to get close to Nangong Long. Brother, how did you do this? Yes, and what about those maids? Asked Miori. You can think of this as a supernatural power, magic, or superpower, Nangong Long replied, pointing at the house. As for the maid, she is a man-made person. Artificial human? Cloned? Miori asked. No, you can think of it as a combination of alchemy and magic. Brother, are you still human? Definitely not, Xiaoshi nodded affirmatively. Why do those maids call you Lord Supreme? Asked Miori. Simply because I created them. The last question is why maids are so beautiful, and judging from their attitude towards you, they will devote themselves to you without hesitation if you just beckon them. Pretty and pleasing to the eye, who would create a bunch of ugly monsters? You didn't refute what I said later, Miori stared at Nangong Long and said. Hearing this, Kun looked at his brother with an even more dangerous look. Well, because what you said is the truth, but I won't do that, Nangong Long shrugged and said calmly. Now I can only follow my brother closely, Kizaru muttered. Oh, in that case, Long, come and do it with me, Weazi looked at Nangong Long cunningly and said with a charming and seductive smile. What are you talking about, bug? Do you want to die? Kisara stared at Miori with a look as if he was looking at a dead person. Miori ignored her directly, took a step forward and stuck close to Nangong Long, then raised her head and looked at Nangong Long with warm eyes. My body is very soft. Kisara couldn't bear it anymore and pulled Miori away roughly. It seems that I can only send you, a bug, to hell with my own hands. Ah, how can you say such things to your future sister-in-law, Miss Kisara? Miori teased. I will never acknowledge you, Kisara yelled. I'm just your stepsister, not your biological sister, so I can do that kind of thing, Mu Geng thought with a slightly blushing face. Don't worry, stop arguing, we are leaving, Nangong Long advised. After hearing this, Mu Geng and the other man stopped arguing, but they continued to play the staring game behind Nangong Long. After reaching the edge of District 39, Nangong Long stopped and turned to face the town. Fortress triple wall. The land at the edge of the town began to shake, and black walls hundreds of meters high rose up on all four sides, surrounding the entire town. On the surface, there are only 4 walls, but in fact each side is composed of 3 layers of walls. Kisara and the others were no longer surprised. After all, they had just seen even more bizarre scenes, and their world views had been almost shattered. Afterwards, Nangong Long threw several angel statues in 4 directions. What is this? Xiaoshi asked curiously. Gorum, I will automatically attack anyone approaching with malicious intent. I really want to strip you clean in every sense of the word, Miori said with a giggle. I should be the one to say this. That's fine, Miori said with her hands covering her mouth. Seeing that Kijin was about to go berserk again, Nangong Long quickly changed the subject. Kisara, I'm planning to move here, what about you? I also want to be with my brother, but I still have to go to school, and it's inconvenient to live here, Mu Geng said frustratedly. It's okay, I can drive you there. Really? That's great. Mu Geng said excitedly. You bully me, Weazi pouted in dissatisfaction. If you want to come, you can. That's more like it. 2 days later Kui and Xiaoshi went out to find other Lolas to play with. Although Kui was easily shy, she still made some friends. By the way, Xiaoshi was dragged away by Kui. So at this time, there were only Nangong Long and Mu Geng at home. Kigara, is it time to fulfill the agreement? Nangong Long said with a wicked smile. Ah, what, you want it now? Mu Geng was startled by this sudden statement. Of course, Kui and the others are not here right now, so this time is just right. But, I haven't had time to buy an apron yet, Kisara explained with a blushing face. Also, I don't know what style my brother likes. Hey, I'm ready. Nangong Long took out a pure white apron and handed it to Kisara. Mu Geng was a little caught off guard, she didn't expect her brother to be prepared in advance, but then she thought about it and became very happy again, he is still very attractive to me. Kisara quickly snatched away the apron and ran away. Hey, just change here, I don't mind, Nangong Long shouted. Mu Gang stumbled and said without turning his head, no way in Muzera's room ah, do I really want to wear it? No, no, we have already made an agreement. What if my brother is unhappy? Mu Gang shook his head to deny the idea that had just come to his mind. Well, come on, you can do it, Tendo Kimura. This way you can put a big gap between yourself and Miori. This is my victory. Mu Gang suppressed her embarrassment and put on the apron that Nangong Long gave her. Looking at Wang Niuzhao, his current appearance, Mu felt even more ashamed and annoyed. Is Kisara still not well? Wait a minute, I'll be right there. Hey, you can do it, it's okay for me to just take a look at it. Kisara opened the door of his room with the determination to give it a try. Mu Gang stood in front of Nangong Long coquettishly, without saying a word. So beautiful! Nangong Long exclaimed. Kisara revealed a barely perceptible smile. With the beauty in front of him, how could Nangong Long not be tempted? Just when he was about to take this opportunity to proceed to the next step, there was a noise outside the house. Kisara ran back to his room like a frightened rabbit. Nangong Long smiled bitterly. He knew without thinking that the two little brats had returned. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart. It seemed that there was no hope this time. Chapter 14. After Mu Gang returned to her room, she never came out. She didn't even respond when Nangong Long called her to have dinner. She must be still shy. Thinking of this, Nangong Long put dinner at her door. Kigura, I left dinner at the door. Fortunately, the next day was a school day, and Kajin finally came out of her room, but she couldn't help blushing when she saw Nangong Long. Brother, take me to school. You two remember to go to school later and don't sneak out, okay? I know. Nangong Long set up a school specifically for teaching these little Lolas, with ordinary maids serving as teachers. As for the combat maids, Nangong Long sent them out to search for Lolas in other districts. In the past few days, almost all the children from the outer districts have come to this town that appeared out of nowhere, and only a few Lolas are still scattered in other urban areas. After instructing Xiaoxi and the other person, Nangong Long took Mu Gang to Miwa Academy. Next time, I'll find a chance to continue what I didn't finish yesterday. Kajin's face suddenly turned red, her hands were entangled together, her eyes were wandering, she neither agreed nor objected. After a long while she finally spoke, but she talked about something else. Brother, Dr. Muroto Sumayer wants to see you, do you want to go? Nangong Long was slightly stunned. He had never met the otaku scientist who liked corpses since he came to this world. He originally planned to find her after some time, but he didn't expect that she would invite him first. But on second thought, he probably understood why Muroto Sumayer wanted to see him. Good, Dr. Sumayer is waiting for you at Kodata University Hospital. Halfway through his words, Kisara frowned, not knowing how to introduce Sumayer to his brother. After thinking for a moment, Kisara spoke. Jin has a strange personality. She doesn't like interacting with people. Also, I know. I have some understanding of the Four Sages. The Four Sages. Nangong Long stepped on the brakes and did a perfect drift, parking the car in front of the school gate, which immediately caused screams from the surrounding female students. Here we are. I will explain the matter of the Four Sages to you tonight. Brother, don't go out and flirt with girls when I'm not around. Before getting off the bus, Mu Gang reminded her again and again, and only after seeing her brother nod in response did she feel at ease to get off the bus. Nangong Long, who was about to drive away, suddenly remembered something, so he rolled down the window, tilted his head out of the window, looked at Mu Gang who was leaving, and shouted, "Remember to eat on time. I've put the lunch in your bag." Hearing the voice behind him, Mu Gang's face flushed slightly. I know. Then she quickened her pace and walked into the school. She could not stand the gossiping looks from people around her. So handsome and warm, a female student said enviously. Her friend couldn't help but criticize her, she's already taken, you don't stand a chance. Tisk, you can't just think about it. Hey, isn't that Kisara? He actually has a boyfriend, and he's so kind. You can't judge a person by his appearance. He usually looks very serious, but he hides his true colors very well. Apparently among the students were Kisara's classmates. Kisara walked into the classroom and sat in his seat as usual, waiting for class. However, today was a little different from usual. It was rare that a classmate came over to say hello to her. Good morning, Tendu-san. Mu-Gang was a little confused, but still nodded in response. Don't be so cold. Was the person who just sent you here your boyfriend? The students around seemed to have heard some incredible news, and the classroom, which had been a little noisy, suddenly became quiet. A barely perceptible blush passed across Mu-Gang's delicate face. It turned out that he came here to gossip. No, that's my feeling. Really? Can you introduce him to me? Jingyu asked excitedly yet shyly. Mu-Gang's expression changed slightly, and he immediately became alert, and replied coldly, Can't why is that? Jingyu, deeply shocked, returned to her seat in frustration. Humph, brother just needs me, I won't let you get close to me. Nangong Long rode his motorcycle to Gaoshan University and went to the university hospital. The sports car has allowed him to regain some space in his system, but when he is alone he still prefers to ride a motorcycle. Nangong Long knocked on the door that seemed to lead to hell, and a weak voice was heard from inside the house. Come in, the door is not locked. Nangong Long pushed the door open and the scenery before him was indescribable. What caught my eye were all kinds of sophisticated experimental instruments and corpses. Suddenly a hand grabbed Nangong Long's calf, and a pale face appeared in Nangong Long's eyes. Yes, there is no food. Nangong Long handed the food in his hand to her. When he came, he remembered that Miroto Sumair would eat some strange things. In order to avoid this situation, he bought some food from a street shop on the way and brought it over. Hey, resurrected after eating her fill, Miroto Sumair looked Nangong Long up and down, with a hint of surprise in her eyes. You are the brother that Kisaram misses so much. It should be me. Can I see your body? Miroto Sumair made no secret of her desire to explore the unknown. It's not good to be so aggressive just after meeting each other. Nangong Long protected his chest with his hands and pretended to be very scared. Your acting is too fake, and I'm not interested in a brat like you. That's not certain. You might fall in love with me someday, Nangong Long teased. Oh, then you have to work hard. Now, can you let me check your body? Well, it doesn't matter, but it's useless to look at it. Miroto Sumair took out tools and knocked on Nangong Long's body, but she couldn't pry open the share at all. Instead, she was exhausted and sweating. Is the level difference so big? I didn't expect that. I don't even have the qualifications to dismantle it, Jin said self-deprecatingly. Having tried all possible methods, Jin could only sit back in her chair helplessly. If you agree to one condition, I can show you the internal structure. What do you want to do? Are you tempted by my lust? Jin said boldly. You think too much. Just promise me that you won't eat those messy things anymore, Nangong Long shrugged and said easily. That's it. Certainly you are such a strange person, did Mu-Gang tell you about me? Nangong Long nodded. I'll starve to death if I don't eat those things. You can't go out to eat. I hate interacting with people. Hey, I can deliver it to you, right? Why? Jin showed a suspicious look. She didn't believe that someone would be nice to her for no reason. I like you, is this an acceptable reason? Oh? Then what about Mu-Gang? Sumair asked playfully. Is it not possible to have both? You want to start a harem? And Nangong Long nodded in acknowledgement. It was the first time that she met a man who openly admitted that he wanted to have a harem, and the corners of Jin's mouth rose unconsciously. I'm a little interested in you, I promise you. Chapter 15. After leaving Miroto Sumair, Nangong Long went to wander around the streets with the idea that maybe he could pick up two Lolas to take back with him. He had nothing to do anyway. If you just look at the people coming and going on the street, you won't think this is the end of the world, it's no different from the normal world. But this is just an illusion. The reality is that humans are huddled in the giant stone tablet and struggling to survive, and outside is Wang Yang's sea of gastrula creatures. Before he knew it, Nangong Long had reached the commercial street, and he heard pleasant singing in his ears. The voice was very childish, probably from a child. Nangong Long followed the sound to find the owner of the singing. But the sound suddenly disappeared, replaced by sounds of beating, scolding and cheering. Get back to the outer area, little BD. A man who looked like a bad gangster was pushing the weak little girl with silver hair towards the glass fence beside the bridge. Instead of stopping this evil act, the people around him cheered. Even after being treated like this, the silver-haired loli still had a smile on her face, as if she was not the one being beaten. Nangong Long frowned and quickened his pace towards the direction where the sound came from. Nangong Long roughly pushed away the person who was blocking him. The person who fell to the ground was about to curse, but what happened next made him shut his mouth immediately, for fear of attracting Nangong Long's attention. Nangong Long grabbed the gangster's neck and lifted him up. Is it fun for bastards to bully children? When the people around saw this scene, they all blamed Nangong Long. What are you doing? He didn't do anything wrong. It's just a fight with the devil. Let him go quickly if you don't want to die, get the hell out of here. Frightened by Nangong Long's fierce gaze, everyone retreated one after another. The timid ones had already sneaked away, but after all, there were still some brave ones who didn't believe that Nangong Long would dare to touch them. Let go quickly, or we will call the police. The passerby took out his cell phone and waved it while speaking. Plug your ears. Oh, the dazed Loli obediently covered her ears with her little hands. Although she couldn't see anything, she understood that the person in front of her was here to help her. Nangong Long pulled out his pistol and shot the phone into pieces. The onlookers were stunned. They didn't expect that the other party would dare to openly shoot in the street. If you don't get out of here, I'll blow your heads off next time. Passers-by were immediately frightened and ran away in all directions, not realizing that they had 4 legs. The gangster was so scared that he was shaking all over. He was lucky that he didn't wet his pants. He couldn't understand why it turned out like this. He had done this many times before and no one would stop him. Instead, he would get applause from the people around him. Why did he encounter such bad luck this time? Why do you want to stand up for the murderer? The silver-haired Loli was heartbroken upon hearing this, but she did not refute. Countless tragic experiences had taught her that refutation would only result in a more severe beating. Who did she kill? Nangong Long asked, staring at him. My family and friends were all killed by the Gastrola creatures. Don't you have any family members killed by them? The gangster stared at the silver-haired Loli with hatred in his eyes, as if they had a blood feud. Boring it. If you have the ability, then step out of the stone tablet and kill the Gastrola creatures. What's the point of hiding in the safe zone and abusing children? The gangster seemed to have heard something unbelievable. Get out, I'll die. Identification completed. You are just a complete rubbish. It's my fault for talking so much nonsense with you. Nangong Long walked to the edge of the bridge, and the gangster was hanging in the air. What do you want to do? Nangong Long threw him out fiercely. Without some strength, it would be difficult for him to suffer any serious injuries from a height of 5 or 6 meters. Whether he lived or died depended on his own energy. When pedestrians on the street saw this, they all moved away from the scene. Some called an ambulance, while others secretly called the police. Feeling that the matter was over, the silver-haired Loli said, "Can I touch your face?" Okay. Nangong Long squatted down so that he was at the same height as the Loli and pulled up the Loli's soft little hand and placed it on his face. The silver-haired Loli searched carefully. She wanted to remember the only kind person who had helped her. Big brother is very handsome, there must be a lot of girls who like him, please give me flowers. 0 I don't deny that. Nangong Long picked her up. The little girl was a little overwhelmed and waved her hands in panic. What happened? Don't be afraid, I'll take you away from here, and no more people will die. Why? Because I'm afraid I won't be able to help but kill those annoying guys. The little girl didn't understand much, but she knew that her big brother would not harm her. Brother, where are we going? District 39 is also your new home in the future. The little girl was stunned at first, then she seemed to suddenly remember something and said, is Big Brother the pervert who is rumored to be collecting lolas everywhere? Is something weird going to happen to me? 0 Nangong Long's face suddenly turned black. Why is there such a strange rumor? Who is ruining my reputation? Nothing will be done, that's a rumor and it's false. AAA. The little Lolita laughed like a silver bell. May I have your name? Big Brother, I have a younger sister, can you take her with us? Xuan asked. Well, where is she? We live in District 41, and my sister is still waiting for me to come back. Okay, let's go pick her up. District 41 is very close to the monolith, and it is conceivable how difficult it is for Xuan to come to the city to beg for money every day. Nangong Long took Xuan to Area 41, found her 5-year-old sister Shirley, and returned to Area 39, handing them over to the maid. Of course, before that, Nangong Long had used the healing scroll to heal Xuan's eyes. The 2 Lolas, one big and one small, were surprised to see the new home in front of them, and there were many children like them here. I'm leaving now, just stay here and be at ease. Big brother, where are you going? Xuan and Shirley grabbed the corner of Nangong Long's clothes and asked. I will come to see you often. Of course, you can also come to find me. The children here all know where I live. After Nangong Long and Xuan said goodbye, they went to the school to pick up Mu Geng and take him home. After all, it was already evening after all the trip. Chapter 16. After breakfast, Mu Geng and Nangong Long sat opposite each other. I have a new commission. I want to be the bodyguard of the Holy Emperor. Do you want to go and take a look? The Holy Emperor has already discussed this matter with Nangong Long in private, but since he is a member of the Tiantong Civilian Security Company, he still needs to formally entrust the company with the permission of the president. I'll check it out later. It has been a month since I defeated Scorpio. 3 days after the town of District 39 appeared, someone finally couldn't help but come to investigate. When they saw the majestic 100-meter-high city wall and the tall golem angel statue, they were shocked beyond words. Seeing that someone often led a group of little girls into the city wall, the investigators planned to sneak in at night to see what was going on inside. There is no doubt that he failed, because he sneaked in with hatred for the cursed 753 child. When he stepped into the range of 200 meters of the golem, the angel statue automatically activated into annihilation mode and beat him to pieces on the spot. The companions behind him were so frightened by the scene that they could not move. It took them a long time to retreat and pass the news back to the headquarters. Afterwards, more people came to investigate. No, it could no longer be called an investigation, it was more of an assault, and even armed helicopters were sent. Unfortunately, the angels can fly, and they were wiped out. The matter got so serious that it reached the ears of the Holy Emperor, so he called Nangong Long privately to ask what was going on. Nangong Long told her the truth and there was nothing to hide about this matter. The Holy Emperor immediately said that he would restrain his subordinates and not let them cause trouble again. The Holy Emperor personally ordered that the mastermind behind the scenes, Tendo Kikuno-ho, could only give up, at least not do anything on the surface. So he began to use his power to spread the word that someone had established a district in District 39 to adopt cursed children. When the people learned that the cursed children lived better than them, they were immediately furious. On what basis could those red-eyed demons be happy? This is absolutely not allowed. Things escalated, and extremists even began to march and demonstrate, strongly demanding the demolition of District 39 and the expulsion of the cursed child from Dekyung District. Seeing this scene, Tendo Kikunashuk laughed. He didn't believe that Nangong Long dared to offend the public, but reality ruthlessly slapped him in the face. Nangong Long didn't bother to care about the people's parade, just let them swim as long as they felt tired. However, anyone who dared to cause trouble at the doorstep would be shot to death as a warning to others. District 39 suddenly became a restricted area and no one dared to come here anymore. Upon hearing the news, Tendo Kikunashuk was almost furious, but he could only endure it because he couldn't beat him. This iron-blooded approach silenced the people for a while, but was followed by a greater backlash. The extremists began more frequent and larger-scale demonstrations, strongly demanding that the Holy Emperor sanction Nangong Long. Normally Kikunashuk should be very happy, but on the contrary he was very troubled. He had seen Nangong Long's powerful strength, and it was possible that the military strength of the entire Dekyung district was not enough to withstand a single shot from him. Finally, there was really no other way, the Holy Emperor could only ask Nangong Long if he could announce that he was the one who defeated Scorpio. Nangong Long nodded in agreement, as he didn't want to make things too difficult for the Holy Emperor. When the people learned that Nangong Long was the hero who defeated Stage 5, they fell into silence for a long time. They needed time to digest this explosive news. Almost all the people were silent and stopped making trouble. Only a few people were still insisting, but that was meaningless. There were even a few people who began to support Nangong Long and said that he was right. This is human, this is reality, no one wants to be driven away by themselves when they can defeat the strong man of Stage 5. With such a strong man, their lives can be better protected. Of course, this does not rule out the possibility that there are people who are willing to accept a cursed child. After sending Mu Gang to school, Nangong Long went to Shenzhou. The guards of the holy residence already knew Nangong Long, so he entered without any hindrance. Arriving at the place where the Holy Emperor usually worked, he pushed the door open and walked in. Judging from his proficiency, it was obviously not the first time he had done this. "You are here." The Holy Emperor knew who was coming without even looking up. In the holy residence, the only person who had the courage to enter without knocking on the door was Nangong Long. Nangong Long found a place and sat down casually, then made a gesture to the Holy Emperor. The Holy Emperor blushed, stood up and walked to Nangong Long and sat down in his arms. When he was in close contact with a girl, Nangong Long would remove the mechanization and restore his physical body. The mechanization was only used to show off, and it was not necessary to hug a girl. When did it start? You want to hug me as soon as you come, the Holy Emperor joked. Hug? More than that. Nangong Long lowered his head and kissed her. The Holy Emperor stared at him with wide eyes. The Holy Emperor held his chest and breathed rapidly. Humph, I'm not going to pay attention to you. You just know how to bully me. If people outside saw you like this, I think they would be so shocked that their eyeballs would fall to the ground, Nangong Long joked. I won't let anyone see it. So this is mine. The Holy Emperor slightly adjusted his posture and leaned his head on Nangong Long's shoulder, whispering to the ancient Taoist, "You're asking even though you already know the answer, damn it. Hey, why do I hear someone saying bad things about me? No, no. Stop kissing. Let's talk about things first, okay?" The Holy Emperor looked at Nangong Long with watery eyes and asked. "President Chiwu is coming to visit Dekyung district this time. I want you to be my bodyguard. Is that okay?" Nangong Long nodded in agreement. "Long, do you know anything about President Chiwu?" "Arrogant 0.4, warmongering, self-centered. I might be too tired. I seem to be hallucinating." "Did you just mention war maniac?" "Yes, you heard it right." The Holy Emperor felt a tightness in his heart. "That's terrible, but Mr. Tiantong is not here at this time. I guess that guy picked this time on purpose, but don't worry, I'm here and I won't let you get hurt." The Holy Emperor leaned in further, pressing tightly against Nangong Long's body. "Long, after this matter is over, I want to give you a gift." "Oh, what is it?" The Holy Emperor lowered his head so as not to let Nangong Long see his face, which was red as if he had a fever. "I won't tell you, you just have to look forward to it." Chapter 17. Nangong Long took advantage of the Saint Emperor a lot, and was eventually pushed out of the room by the ashamed and angry Saint Emperor. Phew! It was so dangerous, he almost died. I was planning to give him a surprise. After tidying up his clothes and patting his face, the Holy Emperor calmed down and sat back in his office chair to continue handling government affairs. "Oh, I forgot to introduce the guard officer to Long." "Never mind, it's not a big deal anyway." Thinking of this, the Saint Emperor continued to read the documents in his hand. A sleepy blonde girl in pajamas was riding a bicycle, staggering forward. Because she was still sleepy, the little girl accidentally bumped into a gangster, and the gangster's companions immediately surrounded the little girl. "Hey, you little brat, you hit my leg. It might be broken. Pay me the money. Where are your parents?" The gangster pushed and hit the little girl as he spoke. The confused blonde didn't quite understand what was happening. Nangong Long, who had just walked out of the holy residence, happened to see the scene. Just as the gangster was about to hit the girl's wrist, someone grabbed it forcibly. The severe pain in his wrist made his face begin to distort. The companions around immediately gave up the little girl and surrounded Nangong Long. "Let go. Let go quickly, or you'll be in trouble," the gangster's companion threatened. Annihilation Scorpio only disclosed Nangong Long's name and that he was the founder of District 39, and kept everything else secret, so these gangsters didn't know him. Nangong Long ignored them completely and kicked each of them 7 or 8 meters away. This was the result of his mercy, otherwise this kick would have blown them to pieces. The thugs were all scared, they had offended a ruthless guy this time, so they immediately showed their attitude. "Well, actually she was the one who bumped into me, so it's not too much for me to hit her twice to vent my anger, right? Are you hurt?" "Yes, my leg may be broken." The gangster stretched out his left leg to show Nangong Long, pretending to be in pain on his face. "Ah, it wasn't all fake, at least half of it really hurt because Nangong Long pinched it." "I see." Nangong Long kicked the gangster's left calf and broke it. The gangster let out a howl of pain, and this time it really couldn't be more real. "That's very similar." Nangong Long threw the gangster to his companions. "If I see you bullying others again, don't blame me for being ruthless. Get lost." The thugs were relieved upon hearing this and quickly left with their companion with a broken leg. The blonde loli looked up at Nangong Long and murmured, "This is the first time I've seen a hero of justice." The little loli followed Nangong Long to the seat next to the sink, then Nangong Long walked to the faucet, took out a handkerchief, soaked it, and returned to sit next to the little loli. He used the handkerchief to wipe the little loli's dirty face, and Loli let him play with her as he pleased. Loli stood up and bowed, "Thank you." After he finished speaking, he did not raise his head and just kept bowing. Nangong Long leaned closer and saw that he had fallen asleep. "Oh Yene." Loli took out a bottle of medicine, took a handful and put it directly into her mouth and started chewing. "Sorry, I feel sleepy during the day and I can't stay awake without this." Loli sat back in the chair, still drowsy as if she could fall asleep at any time. "Nangong Long, my name is." Nangong Long looked at Loli, the meaning was self-evident. For some reason, the Loli's eyes wandered, but in the end, she seemed to give up struggling and spoke, "Tina Sprunt, just call me Tina." "Tina, do you remember how you got here?" Tina fell into deep thought. "I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, take a shower, change my clothes and go out fresh." Looking at Tina talking nonsense seriously, Nangong Long was still very impressed. Her skills were almost catching up with his. "You usually go out in pajamas." It was ruthlessly exposed. "Mr. Long is actually a Lolita complex." He just stared at my exposed skin intently. I swear to God that Nangong Long really didn't watch anything. Nangong Long stretched out his claws and wantonly ravaged Tina's golden hair. "Don't spread rumors about me. How did you notice that when you can barely open your eyes?" "Forget it. Do you want me to take you home?" Tina shook her head to indicate that she didn't need it. Seeing this, Nangong Long told Tina his cell phone number. "Just call me if you have any questions." Tina took out her cell phone and dialed the number directly, and the phone in Nangong Long's pocket immediately rang. "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm afraid you gave me a fake number. I still love Lolita." Tina hung up the phone. "Actually, I remember the apartment I lived in. I want to go back. I'm really happy today. See you next time." Tina walked away with unsteady steps. "We'll see you soon, Tina." It was already completely dark when Tina returned to her remote residence. There was basically no one living around here except her. Tina's spirit becomes active at night. She stands in front of the mirror in the house and looks at herself carefully. "Is this how I appear in front of him? Wouldn't it be cuter if I put on a skirt and dressed up carefully?" When Tina thought of this, she couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. After adjusting her mood, Tina went into the bathroom, took a shower, changed into clean clothes, and went to the place her master had mentioned to pick up the weapons for this mission. Unfortunately, she was noticed by the police on the way back. Tina had no choice but to follow her master's orders to eliminate the unstable factors. Nangong Long's home. Everyone was sitting together eating hot pot, but there was one more person at home today, Xiao Yanzu. Recently, Xiao Yanzu often came to District 39 to play with other Lolas, not to mention that there were people she knew here. Every time she played too much and forgot the time, she would run to Nangong Long's house to stay. When everyone was enjoying their meal, there was a knock on the door. Mu Gang got up and went to open the door. As soon as she opened the door, she immediately closed it even faster. "Who is it?" "Kisara." "It's okay, I must have heard it wrong, there's only a bug outside the door." The knocking on the door became more intense, and Nangong Long knew who was outside the door without even thinking. As expected, a weak voice came from outside the door, "Long, open the door, I can't take it anymore." There was no other way. Nangong Long could only go and open the door himself. If he waited for Kisara, Miori wouldn't be able to come in even if she was dry. As soon as the door opened, Weazi fell on Nangong Long. "I'm sick, take care of me." Chapter 18. Weazi was obviously feeling much better after taking the medicine and was able to sit down and eat hot pot with Nangong Long and the others. Mu Gang was so angry that his teeth itched. He chewed the meat in his mouth fiercely and stared at Miori, saying word by word, "What tricks are you going to play?" Miori stopped using the chopsticks in her hand and said with a sweet smile, "No, I'm just sick and want Long to take care of me." "Why wouldn't my brother take care of you?" "I won't let the dragon take care of me for nothing." Weazi looked at Nangong Long with blurred eyes and flushed face, "The reward is mine, you can do whatever you want, even if it's a little excessive." "Haha, I'm very weak now anyway, and there's no way I can resist you." Weazi looked like she was so weak and wanted to bully me. Mu Gang was so angry that he was shaking all over and poked the bottom of the bowl with his chopsticks. His next words completely ignited the powder keg. "Long, in fact, you must be enduring it very hard. You have our Uniu Mu Gang by your side, but they are extremely well protected. If you attack Kui and Xiaoxi, you will be caught." So I am the only one who can satisfy you. My words are fine, Xiaoxi on the side said suddenly. Bushiq's face turned red and they started playing the finger-poking game, with her cat ears drooping because of shyness. I can do that. The furious Kisara shouted, I have shown my brother naked aprons, but I am far inferior to you. The surroundings suddenly became quiet, and Weazi looked incredulous. Impossible, how could you, a conservative person, make such a bold move? Brother, it doesn't matter if I'm naked. Ah, what am I saying? Never mind, love will be what it is. Kisara gritted his teeth and looked at Miori. He couldn't back down at this time. Miori turned and looked at Nangong Long with a hopeful heart. Kisara is bragging, right? Nangong Long shook his head and gave the answer that Weazi didn't want to hear. It's true. Kui, who was standing by, touched her washboard and couldn't help feeling a little frustrated. See, you've already lost. Damn it, I let the rigid Kisara get ahead of me. I miscalculated, but I won't give up. Miori stood up and prepared to take off her clothes. What are you doing? Kisara rushed over and stopped Miori's actions. Humph, of course I want to let Long appreciate my beautiful naked body. What's so good about you, poor guy? Upon hearing this, Kun Geng and Wei Ji had another earth-shattering battle. Nangong Long said he would just watch and not say anything. Finally, the two exhausted men sat back in their original seats and began to eat frantically, apparently preparing to replenish their energy for another battle. Mu Geng, who was busy eating, seemed to remember something and looked up at Nangong Long. Brother, how is the commission going? Yes, I took it. Okay, I'll send you the detailed information later. Hearing the conversation between the two, Miori also stopped what she was doing. What mission? You don't need to know, Mu Geng said unhappily. The Holy Emperor commissioned me to be his bodyguard. Miori's pupils shrank instantly, and then she glared at Kisara and said, why did you accept this commission? None of your business. You are creating opportunities for the Holy Emperor, Weazi said unhappily. Mu Geng was suddenly panicked. She really didn't think that much. No way. Miori looked at Nangong Long with a cunning look. Elder brother. Mu Geng looked at Nangong Long suspiciously. Nangong Long sighed inwardly, he was shot even when he was lying down. It's okay, let's eat. Next day in the extended luxury limousine, Bushiqui sat on Nangong Long's left, Xiaoxi sat on his right, and the Holy Emperor sat opposite him. After driving for about 2 hours, we finally arrived at our destination. Nangong Long and the Holy Emperor got out of the limousine, while Kui and Xiaoxi stayed in the car, as it was not convenient to bring children to the meeting between the heads of state. Nangong Long and the other person walked into the building and took the elevator to the top floor. Don't leave my side for a moment. Don't worry, I will always be with you, don't be nervous. The Holy Emperor felt much more at ease. Finally reaching the top floor, the first thing that caught my eye was the blue sky, followed by the burly man standing next to the elevator. Chi Wu, who was sitting on a specially designed sofa, stood up and looked here. Nice to meet you, Your Excellency the Holy Emperor. After seeing Nangong Long, his tone sank, you are the other adopted son of the Tendo family. I don't like this name, Nangong Long said lightly. Watch your attitude, you're just a police officer. A mere police officer can take your life right now, Nangong Long retorted without any hesitation. I've never been afraid of anyone when it comes to bickering. In the end, Chi Wu took a step back and returned to his seat. When the Holy Emperor heard the two people's heated words, he clenched his hands nervously and his face turned ashen. Nangong Long came back behind her and whispered, this won't do, my princess. The Holy Emperor couldn't help but roll his eyes cutely, but then he remembered that this was a meeting and immediately regained his serious expression and sat on the sofa opposite the glass table. Is the guy who carved the Buddha statue okay, Nangong Long? Still alive? Normally, what would follow would be a conversation between the leaders of the two regions, but Chi Wu had no such plans. I heard that you defeated Stage 5. How about coming to my side? A fragile place like Dekyung District can't give you a bigger stage, but I can. We can enjoy the joy of conquering the world together. The Holy Emperor tried to get up in a hurry, but was held down by Nangong Long. Sorry, I'm not interested in old men. Chi Wu was not angry when he heard this, but continued to extend an olive branch. As long as you are willing to come, you can choose the status, wealth and women you want. The Holy Emperor was completely panicked. She was really afraid that Nangong Long would not in agreement. Nangong Long smiled disdainfully, pointed at the Holy Emperor and said, is she as pretty as she is? This unexpected answer instantly made the Holy Emperor's delicate face blush. Chi Wu nodded as if he understood something. I see. I underestimated you. I didn't expect you to be so thoughtful at such a young age. No, there is no such thing. Before the Holy Emperor could finish his words, they were drowned out by Chi Wu's words. But I will not give up. I will win over all powerful people to work for me. My will is the will of our country, and the will of our country is my will. No, it's about time to get down to business, the Holy Emperor interrupted. Chi Wu seemed uninterested. Ah, yes. The talks lasted for more than 2 hours before they ended. When Nangong Long and the other man came out, it was already completely dark. The Holy Emperor spoke with some uneasiness. Long, I really didn't lie to you. I really like you and I don't mean to take advantage of you. Nangong Long placed his hand on Saint Tianzi's head, rubbed her hair and said with a smile, of course I know, little fool, you don't think I would believe what that old guy said. Hey, you actually called me stupid, I'm really worried, okay. It's rare for the Holy Emperor to show his feminine side. The two got in the car and found that Kui and Xiaoxi had fallen asleep, so they quietly sat opposite them without disturbing them. The Holy Emperor leaned on Nangong Long's shoulder, looking a little tired. Please don't leave me, please. Nangong Long was currently thinking about whether or not to find an opportunity to kill the old man Chi Wu. Chapter 19. The Holy Emperor looked out of the car window with gloomy eyes. Don't be sad, you've done a good job. Even if a regional war really breaks out, it doesn't matter. With me here, you'll be the only one who wins. The Holy Emperor regained his senses and slowly spoke, I would like to avoid war if possible. I don't want to continue to spread sadness. Do you know who dies first in war? Without waiting for Nangong Long to answer, the Holy Emperor said, they were babies and the elderly. During the chaotic post-war period, I visited various places in Kyoto with my mother. I saw dying children trying their best to smile at me, but they soon turned into cold corpses. So I want world peace and no more sadness. It's not just talk, but we have to make it happen through our own efforts. After hearing these words, Nangong Long felt helpless. They were really too idealistic. Where there are people, there are struggles. This is an eternal theme. Unless everyone becomes a machine without a mind, your idea is too idealistic. The Holy Emperor was not struck, but said firmly, I don't want to live a life without ideals. 857 Nangong Long sighed and hugged the Holy Emperor tightly in his arms. Very silly and naive, but I don't hate it. At this time, Xiaoxi suddenly woke up and looked at the two of them. It looks like there's another competitor. The Holy Emperor's face suddenly turned red and he wanted to leave Nangong Long's arms. Xiaoxi poked Bushaqui who was still sleeping. Don't sleep, the dragon is about to be kidnapped. What? Bushaqui sat up in shock. Don't move, something's happening. Ask the driver to stop the car. The Holy Emperor stopped struggling and immediately ordered the driver to stop. She had absolute trust in Nangong Long. A large caliber bullet hit the ceremonial car, and then Nangong Long protected the Holy Emperor and got out of the car. The Holy Emperor was a little frightened and his legs began to tremble and become weak unconsciously. He leaned against Nangong Long and barely stood. Nangong Long gently patted the Saint Emperor's jade shoulder and comforted him. It's fine. The Holy Emperor stopped trembling after hearing this but still did not leave Nangong Long's arms. Only here could she feel at ease. This scene made Baosiat, who was hiding aside, furious. That position should have been mine. It's all your fault, you damn Nangong Long. I will definitely make sure you die a miserable death. Sniff sniff sniff. 3 bullets came at the same time. If an ordinary person faced this scene, his hair would stand on end and he would be killed instantly. Unfortunately, the people present were far from being ordinary people. Xiaoxi raised the gun provided to her by Sima Heavy Industry and fired several shots in succession, all of which hit the same position accurately, successfully exploding the bullets. Xiaoxi was originally unable to do such a thing, but after Nangong Long injected her with the latest potion, her strength increased by leaps and bounds. The analysis was completed 1 day after Scorpio was killed. The solution given by the system can indeed cure the Lolas, but their power will disappear. Nangong Long didn't want this, so he put forward a new requirement to treat them without eliminating the Lolas' strength. The omnipotent system quickly came up with a second plan, raising the upper limit of the erosion rate to allow Mengli and the others to maintain their original form and fuse the virus. Nangong Long directly decided to choose the second plan. Although the potion obtained by analyzing Scorpio could only increase the upper limit to 80%, this was not a problem at all. It was just a matter of killing a few more zodiacs. Erosion rate, Zyashi 43.72%, Bushaqi 51.23%. Bushaqi stretched out her cat claws and cut the incoming bullets into countless pieces. Nangong Long was much simpler. He just grabbed the bullet in his hand and crushed it to pieces. Baosiat, who was watching the whole process, couldn't help but tremble in his heart, but he did not give up his plan against Nangong Long. Since he couldn't solve the problem by force, he would just outsmart the policeman. Tina in the distance widened her eyes, unable to come back to her senses for a long time, and finally put down the gun in her hand. She knew that she had no chance this time. There was a buzzing sound in his ears, and Nangong Long knew that it was made by Xianfeld, so he ignored it. Do you want to give chase? Xiaoshi asked. No need, the other party has already left. The guard who had been hiding before finally showed up and walked to Lu La's side, wanting to escort her away. Baosia stared at Nangong Long fiercely and said angrily, take your dirty hands off the Holy Emperor. The Holy Emperor frowned in displeasure and started to reprimand, stand back. How could it be, Lord Saint Emperor? Nangong Long looked at the clown in front of him with amusement and deliberately tightened his hands on the slender waist of the Holy Emperor. The Holy Emperor naturally noticed Nangong Long's little action, but he did not resist and instead let him hug him. Baosia was so furious, especially the submissive attitude of the Holy Emperor, that it almost drove him crazy. You guys came out after the enemy disappeared. You are really qualified guards. Nangong Long looked down at the Holy Son of Heaven, just throw away these garbage, it's a waste of resources to keep them. Hearing his words, the guards were extremely angry, especially Baosiat, who could no longer control his emotions. He walked forward and tried to forcefully separate the two people who were hugging each other. Nangong Long was not going to let him off and kicked Baosia away. Baosia fell to the ground and rolled for several times before stopping. He fainted and he didn't know how many ribs he had broken. If the Saint Emperor hadn't been there, Nangong Long would have killed him. The other guards showed expressions of disbelief. After all, they were guards of the Holy Emperor, and yet they started fighting over a disagreement. The guards couldn't help but look at the Holy Emperor, hoping that she would severely punish the arrogant policeman, but they were destined to be disappointed. The Holy Emperor only gave Nangong Long a slightly reproachful look, then turned around and ordered them, send Mr. Baoyi to the hospital. Seeing this scene, no matter how dumb the guards were, they knew that the relationship between the Holy Emperor and Nangong Long was not as simple as that between a police officer and a client. Who is hindering me? I'm sorry, Master. I failed. There are very strong police officers among the other party's guards. Police? There's no mention of that in the intelligence. There was an angry voice coming from the other end of the phone. Did you see the other person's face clearly? Sorry, it's too far. Chapter 20. The next day, the Holy Emperor once again summoned Nangong Long to the holy residence, thinking that she had some urgent business. However, when she arrived, Nangong Long found that it was completely different from what he thought. With a shy look on her face, Saint Emperor hurriedly brought him into her private room, then asked Nangong Long to sit in the living room and wait, while she ran back to the bedroom. After waiting for a long time, her expectant, shy and trembling voice was heard from the Holy Emperor's bedroom. Okay, come in. Nangong Long walked towards the Saint Emperor's bedroom and pushed the door open. The beautiful scenery that came into his eyes made him lose his mind for a moment. The Holy Son of Heaven, wearing a gauze, sat diagonally on the large white bed. This is the gift I gave you, do you like it? Manual harmony, fill in the blanks yourself. After the lovemaking, the Holy Emperor lay in Nangong Long's arms. Do you know why I gave myself to you in advance? I guess it's because of the assassination. The Holy Son smiled, as expected, I can't hide anything from you. I don't want to have any regrets before I die. Nangong Long hugged the Holy Emperor even tighter. Don't worry, I'm here so you won't get hurt. I believe ever since Xiaoshi found Nangong Long's chest too hard for sleeping, Nangong Long no longer maintained his mechanization except for fighting. Almost everyone around him knew about this and were quite surprised by it. That day Nangong Long stayed in Shenzhou and did not go home. He didn't go back until the evening of the next day, so naturally he couldn't avoid being questioned by Mu Gang. Fortunately, he managed to get away with it, and Nangong Long quietly breathed a sigh of relief. Garden Nangong Long took the takoyaki he had just bought and returned to the bench, where Tina was. The Tina rubbed her eyes that were about to close and happily took it. Thank you. Nangong Long sat next to Tina, looked up at the sky and couldn't help but think of the meeting a few days ago. They started a discussion about the attack on the Holy Emperor and who was responsible. After discussing for a long time, they were just passing the buck to each other. If the Holy Emperor had not been sitting next to him, Nangong Long would not have participated in such a boring meeting. Baoxia attended the meeting despite his injuries just to bring down Nangong Long, but he ended up seeing the Holy Emperor sitting together with the person he hated, and he was nearly mad enough to burst a blood vessel. It's him, he must be the traitor. Baoxi stood up and pointed at Nangong Long and shouted. Unfortunately, no one responded to him, especially the senior officials who looked at him with eyes that showed concern for the mentally retarded. The people at the top knew very well that it was Nangong Long's own strength that defeated the Stage 5, and he did not rely on the initiator at all. Wouldn't it be a waste of time to provoke him? Besides, they have sharp eyes, so how could they not see the special attitude of the Saint Emperor towards Nangong Long? As for those who are not at a high enough level to know confidential information, seeing that their superiors do not speak up, they naturally will not step forward. Few people who can reach this position are fools. Baoxia felt that the atmosphere was a little wrong and the script did not go according to his idea at all. Shouldn't everyone agree with him and put all the blame on that annoying guy? In this way, no one would be punished and everyone would be happy, right? Baoxia couldn't stand those glaring eyes and shouted angrily, "What are you looking at? Am I wrong? There have never been any assassinations before when he was not around, so he must be the traitor. Request flowers 0. The security officer must provide evidence. Mr. Nangong Long has no idea how the itinerary plan was leaked. It would be more convincing if you say you are the traitor." Baoxia completely lost his mind. Why are so many people on his side? How am I worse than him? I am obviously better. How can you talk like that? Believe it or not, I will immediately dismiss you from your position. The Holy Emperor is now filled with rage, but Nangong Long looks calm. There is no need to be angry with a dead person. That's enough, Mr. Baoxia, from today on you will no longer be the captain of the guards. 0 and you have all been dismissed as well, the Holy Emperor continued, looking at the rest of the guards. The senior officials looked as if they knew it. Baoxia couldn't believe what was happening before his eyes. He was dismissed from his post. How could this happen? Shouldn't the person who was kicked out be that rubbish policeman? Baoxia roared fiercely, "Sir, you can't do this." Before he could finish his words, Baoxia suddenly fell to the ground and lost his voice. It turned out that Nangong Long used heart control to crush the annoying fly to death. The person next to him quickly squatted down and put his hand in front of Baoxia's nose, exclaiming, "Dead, dead." The others were very surprised, but they didn't take it too seriously, thinking that he was just angry and died. Finally, Baoxia was carried out of the meeting room. Nangong Long held Saint Emperor's jade hand and pulled her into his arms, but Saint Emperor immediately dodged away. She was still very shy when there were many people around. But she was afraid that Nangong Long would be angry, so she could only whisper, "Don't be angry, come back to the room later, whatever you want." Chapter 21. Snap! The sound next to his ears brought his thoughts back to reality, and when he saw the takoyaki on the ground, he instantly understood what was going on. Nangong Long reached out and took the box of takoyaki from Tina's hand, stabbed the takoyaki with a bamboo skewer and forced it into Tina's little mouth. Tina opened her eyes wide in surprise, but immediately relaxed the muscles in her cheeks and began to chew gently. "Mr. Long, I want it." Nangong Long couldn't help but laugh at Tina, who looked like a little hamster, and continued to feed her the takoyaki in his hand. After eating all the takoyaki, Nangong Long took out a handkerchief and wiped Tina's little mouth. Tina closed her eyes and enjoyed this happy moment. "I like Mr. Long." Nangong Long listened to Loli's confession calmly. "This is probably the first time someone cares about me so much." 6:1:7 Tina seemed to remember something sad, and a depressed voice came out. "After my parents died, my life was filled with pain. This was the happiness I hadn't felt for a long time. Can you tell me about yourself?" Tina's eyes were a little wandering. Seeing this, Nangong Long did not force it and instead mentioned it. "Xiao Mihu, where do you want to go today?" Tina thought for a moment and looked up at Nangong Long. "Can I go to the outer area?" "Okay." Tina took the initiative to put her little hand on Nangong Long's hand and let him hold her hand. Nangong Long took Tina to the 39th district. Instead of driving, they chose to walk and take the subway because Tina also wanted to see the situation on the road. Mr. Long, there are very few cursed children in Dekyung district. Tina had been here for so long, but she had hardly seen any cursed children. The only ones she saw occasionally were initiators. She was very surprised by this situation. Were they born young or were they driven out of Dekyung district? Or were they killed? When she said the second half of the sentence, Tina's mood became obviously sad. Nangong Long rubbed Tina's golden hair. Don't think so darkly, you will know the answer soon, and it will definitely surprise you. Upon hearing this, Tina realized that things were not as she had imagined, and she couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Stop rubbing it, it's all messed up. Although I say no, I actually don't hate this feeling at all. Soon Nangong Long and Tina arrived at District 39. Looking at the city wall in front of them, Tina remained silent for a long time. Where is this, Mr. Long? This is the outer area. Nangong Long found it very interesting to see Tina with her eyes wide open and a look of surprise. After all, Tina always looked sleepy during the day, so it was not easy to wake her up. This is the outer district? Is Kyoto such a wealthy area? Okay, let's go in, there are more surprises to come. Tina obediently followed Nangong Long into the town. Tina's mouth never closed along the way. She felt that the environment here seemed to be much better than that in the city. Finally, Nangong Long brought her to where the Lolas were. When the little Lolas who were playing games together saw Nangong Long coming, they immediately gave up the game and ran towards him. Big brother is here. Hey, I must hug you this time. Humph, that's wishful thinking. I will definitely be the first one to arrive. Seeing the Lolas rushing towards her collectively, Tina was a little confused. She hadn't figured out what was going on. Nangong Long still couldn't escape the fate of having a group of Lolas hanging on him, but he was almost used to it. After all, it was an indispensable part of every visit. Okay, everyone be good, I'll introduce you to a new friend. Nangong Long took off the Lolita clothes one by one, then pulled Tina, who was still in a daze, over and said, "This is Tina, just like you guys. Is this something my brother brought back? Will you live with us in the future?" The little Lolas were talking to each other as if they had 100,000 questions. Tina was dragged away by them in a daze, and started playing games with the Lolas, but she seemed to fall asleep while playing. Seeing this, Nangong Long took Tina away and prepared to return to the city. Tina perked up, looked at Nangong Long and asked, "Mr. Long, can you hold me like you held them just now?" Nangong Long did not answer but directly picked up Tina. Tina smiled with satisfaction. Can I call you brother too? I've always wanted to have a brother like Mr. Long." "Sure, elder brother, what? Nothing, just wanted to yell." After getting the result she wanted, Tina asked about what happened just now. "When did my brother find out?" Tina didn't say what it was specifically, but she knew her brother would understand what she meant. "I knew it from the beginning. Where is the flaw?" Tina tilted her head in confusion, and looked at Nangong Long in confusion, wanting him to give her an answer. "It's very simple. How can a normal little girl be fine after taking so many medicines?" Tina covered her mouth and smiled, "Brother, you observe very carefully. Then those just now were all cursed children." "Well, what you see is just a small part. In fact, almost all of Dijing district is here. This place was built specifically for us, right? Is Dekyung district so friendly to us? To be honest, I don't feel that way. Your feeling is correct, because I built this city and it has nothing to do with Jing district." Tina opened her mouth in shock and didn't come back to her senses for a long time. "Should I say he is your brother?" Nangong Long pinched Tina's little face. "Where else do you want to go?" "That's all for today, I have to go back too." "Okay, I'll take you to the 1.9 city area." Tina nodded obediently. She didn't want the happy time to end so soon. When Tina returned to her temporary residence, her cell phone rang. "The new itinerary of the Holy Emperor has been obtained." A smug voice came from the other end of the phone. "So fast?" Tina was surprised. "Well, after all, there are many people who hate Gastrola. The police officer who obstructed you last time has also been found to be from the Tiantong Civilian Security Company." Tina was stunned, staring blankly ahead. "So Tina, your next mission is to kill Tendo Kisara." The cold voice reached Tina's mind, causing her to temporarily lose her ability to think. She could only mechanically reply, "Yes, Master." Looking at the dim sky outside the window, Tina murmured to herself, "Brother, you knew it a long time ago, right?" Chapter 22. At Nangong Long's house at night. Bushaqi ran into Nangong Long's room in a panic. "Dragon, no, look, I have a tail." Bushaqi looked at Nangong Long with tears in her eyes, and the white cat's tail behind her was swinging restlessly. Nangong Long understood what was going on immediately, squatted down, touched her little head and comforted her, "It's okay. This is the same reason as your cat ears. It must be caused by the erosion rate. But, wouldn't this be weird? Will you stop liking me?" Bushaqi said uneasily. "How come it's even cuter this way?" Bushi showed a look of surprise. The next morning after breakfast, Nangong Long asked Kui to follow Mugang, and he took Xiaoxi to Kaotian University. Muroto Sumair contacted him and said that she had something to discuss with him. Before Nangong Long entered the basement where Jin was, her loud laughter was heard from inside. "When I heard the door being pushed open, I knew who was coming without even turning around, because there was no one else willing to come to this room. Long, the gang members actually believed the rumors and bought up a lot of land on the moon. Isn't that funny?" Jin was lying on the table with her arms and legs spread out, laughing non-stop. Nangong Long found a place and sat down with Xiaoxi in his arms. "What do you want from me? Is there no food again?" No. Jin walked to the side, pulled open the white curtain, pointed at a corpse and said, "You should be familiar with it." Nangong Long nodded. "The person who brought it here said that you made it die of anger, but after I dissected it, I found that was not the case at all." His heart seemed to have been crushed to pieces, but the most incredible thing was that there was no other external injury. Xiaoxi showed a look of surprise, then lowered his head to think about whether there was any way to smash the heart without damaging the appearance, but he came to the conclusion that it was simply impossible. Jin walked back to the table, sat on it, stared at Nangong Long and asked, "How did you do that? Why are you so sure it was me? I can't think of anyone else but you." 11 Unable to bear Jin's curious gaze, Nangong Long could only give a brief explanation. "I am really becoming more and more interested in you," Dong said with a smile. Nangong Long stood up and said, "I have something else to do, so I'm leaving now. I'll come see you in 2 days." Tina is about to take action at this time, but what choice will you make since you already know that I belong to the Tiantong Civilian Security Company? As for what Jin said about Nangong Long last time, I also had some clues, but I didn't expect that a few words would cause Jin to change so much. Could it be that I also opened up the protagonist's mouth cannon aura? Chapter 23. 3 days ago, Nangong Long came to Godada University as usual to deliver food to Muroto Sumair, but this time was a little different. Muroto Sumair showed a rare serious expression and asked him a question. "Do you think I did the right thing?" Nangong Long knew that Jin was referring to the new human creation plan, so he replied without thinking too much, "You did nothing wrong. Those who underwent the surgery were dying. You saved them for whatever reason, so you don't need to blame yourself." Jin's complexion improved a little, but her face was still full of self-blame. "But it was I who led them to the path of killing." Nangong Long shook his head to deny her words. "They are soldiers. Whether you show up or not, the result will be the same. How can you say that you are leading them? But it was me who gave them superhuman powers. Power is neither right nor wrong. It's up to them to choose. Sumair, there's no need for you to take everything upon yourself. What's more, most of them are still fighting against the Gastrula creatures to protect the last territory of mankind. This is all thanks to you, isn't it?" Muroto Sumair was silent for a long time before she spoke again. Thanks. Afterwards, she returned to her sloppy look and lay casually on the table. Tendo Civilian Security Company. Nangong Long pushed the door open and walked in. Mugang was sitting at his desk doing his homework, while Bushi Kui was sitting on the sofa in a daze. "It seems that Tina didn't come. Brother, are you done? And has anyone been here?" Mugang shook his head and asked, "Brother, is there something wrong? Otherwise, why did you let Kui follow me? I just thought someone might come and attack you." Mugang showed a surprised expression. She didn't remember ever offending anyone. Why the people who assassinated the Saint Emperor might try to eliminate you? After all, if they can find out the Saint Emperor's schedule, there's no reason they can't find you. Don't you think I'm dangerous?" To Mugang's surprise, Nangong Long denied her words. "It should be fine. Tina's failure to come here means she has given up on assassinating you." Mu Gang showed a puzzled look, looked at Nangong Long who was sitting on the sofa and asked, Tina? Brother, do you already know who the assassin is? Well, the starter of IP ranking 98th Mu Gang slapped the table in surprise and stood up, saying in shock, that wasn't a bad one. It's okay, Tina is not a bad person by nature. I will handle this matter, you don't have to worry. But after this time, one more person may have to join the company. Kisara felt relieved upon hearing that and sat back in his chair. That means my brother has kidnapped another loli. Lorican, playboy, Kui muttered. Just admit it, there's nothing wrong with being a Lolita complex, Xiaoxi interrupted. After leaving Kijin, Nangong Long went to Sima Heavy Industries. He had already made an appointment with Weazi, and he planned to experience the virtual battlefield. When Nangong Long arrived, Weazi was standing at the company gate to greet him and he didn't know how long she had been waiting. Then Miori took him to the underground room where virtual technology was controlled. I'm looking forward to it. Show your true strength. Nangong Long smiled and entered a huge space with white walls on all sides through a special passage. According to Miori, this is a huge cube that is 1,000 meters long. The walls on all four sides are made of special rubber that can withstand various live-fire drills. Therefore, police officers and guards often come here for training, and of course there are also those who have money and want to have fun. A clear electronic synthesized female voice came to my ears. Welcome, Mr. Nangong Long, this is your first time here. How's that? Dragon. Unwoven voice came from the headset. No problem. As soon as he finished speaking, the scenery in front of him changed, and there was only desert all around. Nangong Long squatted down and grabbed a handful of sand. The touch was quite real. Ahead of science is magic, which can turn the impossible into possible and do things that are incredible in the eyes of ordinary people. What level of pain should I adjust? It doesn't matter, it will be over soon anyway. That's right, but don't use your ultimate moves, or my little place will be ruined. At this point, Weazi paused for some reason, and then immediately changed the topic. It doesn't matter if it's destroyed. I can ask you to compensate me this way. Just give me yourself as compensation. It's about to start. Soldiers of varying numbers appeared in various places in the desert, aiming at Nangong Long and shooting. After trying the magic first and finding that it had no effect at all, Nangong Long showed an expression of as expected. Compared with the system's training space, it was still far inferior and could not recognize the power of magic at all. Come to think of it, the Sima Heavy Industry training room was programmed by humans. How could he program magic if he didn't believe in its existence? Thinking of this, Nangong Long didn't plan to play anymore, so he relied on his own speed and strength to quickly end the game. Clear. The pleasant synthetic female voice sounded again. Miori was obviously stunned for a moment, then said, I didn't expect you to be so strong even without mechanization. You are worthy of being the man I like. Weazi, can this device create virtual scenes on the spot according to personal wishes? Miori's slightly apologetic voice came through the headset. I'm sorry, I can't do that for the time being. Nothing, I'm just asking. Afterwards, Nangong Long followed Weazi to her private office. Miori, who was sitting in the office chair, suddenly laughed and looked at Nangong Long with a slightly coquettish look. Do it. Nangong Long looked at the giggling Miori with a suspicious look and said, I always feel like you're up to something bad. Miori immediately showed a hurt expression and bit her lip and said, how can you say that about someone? Seeing that Nangong Long's expression remained unchanged, Weazi had no choice but to tell the truth. You really guessed wrong this time. I didn't have any bad intentions. I have fully realized that you can't give up Kisara, and I don't want to leave you. In this case, I have to make some sacrifices, Joe. Mizi looked at Nangong Long with pitiful eyes. I want to be yours completely before Kisara, is that not okay? Chapter 24. After a fierce battle, Nangong Long, feeling refreshed, sat on the sofa, holding Weazi in his arms. Miori leaned against his chest and whispered, if you dare to abandon me, I will beat you into a beehive. She is beautiful and kind-hearted, how can I bear to part with her? Weazi nodded in satisfaction. I'm tired, I need to take a nap. Just as Nangong Long was about to pick up Weazi, he was interrupted by Weazi. No need to change places, this place is fine. I have already instructed that no one will disturb us today. But you have to hold me, Miori said coquettishly. Okay, it's up to you. Nangong Long took out a prop similar to a soft blanket from the storage space and covered 607 with it to prevent Weazi from catching a cold. It was not until the evening that Weazi woke up slowly. It seemed that she was really tired. Rubbing his sleepy eyes, Weazi said in a daze, "What time is it?" "It's getting dark, my lady." "What?" Miori exclaimed. Nangong Long carefully got off the sofa, then picked up Weazi by the waist. Seeing him so gentle, Weazi smiled sweetly. Seeing the luxurious bathroom in front of him, Nangong Long couldn't help but smile. The bathroom in the office is so luxurious, isn't it worthy of being a rich lady? Why do you envy me? Do you want me to support you? Okay, eating soft rice is not bad either. Nangong Long gently placed Weazi into the bathtub full of water. You can come too. Miori looked at Nangong Long coquettishly with her gentle eyes. When the two finished washing, Yin was completely black. After putting on her clothes, Weazi said reluctantly, "I want to go back." Nangong Long immediately grabbed the limping Weazi. "Why, it's time for you to go back, right? If you want it, you'll have to wait until next time." Weazi said something contrary to her own will, but in fact she really wanted Nangong Long to stop her. "Come home with me, Sia, why aren't you afraid that Mu Gang will get jealous?" Weazi looked at Nangong Long with a cunning look, but did not break free from his hand. "You'll know sooner or later, won't you?" Miori suddenly turned around and hugged him tightly and whispered, "I suddenly feel that I have made some concessions, but I don't want to quarrel with her today, so just send me to your room. I haven't gotten enough sleep yet." Upward transfer. After returning to Nangong Long's room, Weazi took off her clothes again and occupied Nangong Long's big bed. "This place is mine now, I'm going to sleep." Nangong Long covered her with the quilt and kissed her forehead. Sweet dreams. Nangong Long would occasionally teleport back, and he looked no different than usual, so Mu Gang and the others didn't suspect anything. Although Kui's sense of smell and hearing were very sensitive, Nangong Long had already used magic to interfere with them in advance, so she did not notice anything unusual. The reason why Weazi chose to sleep obediently in the room was that she didn't want to make things difficult for Nangong Long, and he naturally wouldn't waste Weazi's kindness. It will take some time for the girls to get along well with each other, so take your time. Chapter 25. Tina's temporary residence. "I got the news that you didn't kill Tendo Mugen, are you going to betray me?" A cold voice came from the other end of the phone. No, I didn't. I just didn't make a move because I didn't have absolute certainty of killing her." "Are you kidding me? How can a mere human being be stronger than my masterpiece?" Ayn Rand's exasperated voice reached Tina's ears. Tina quickly explained, "There's a very strong initiator beside him who's protecting him all the time. I don't have a chance to attack him." Even if Bushi Kui hadn't been there to guard Mu Gang, Tina wouldn't have taken action. This was a decision she had made when she learned that the target of the mission was someone Nangong Long knew. It was just that Kui's presence gave her a good excuse to deal with Ayn Rand. "Stronger than you?" It goes without saying that Ayn Rand must have frowned at this moment. Well, it should have reached the realm that the master once mentioned. Tina was not wrong about this. Bushikui had already reached the realm when the erosion rate exceeded 48%. What an unbelievable voice came from the phone, and it was a long time before Ayn Rand's voice sounded again. "Are you sure?" "More than 90% chance this matter was not mentioned in the intelligence. It's really tricky. You try your best to complete the task of assassinating the Holy Emperor, and don't worry about the rest." "Yes, Master. If you are captured, kill yourself." Tina is the result of his research and she cannot be caught alive by the enemy. Understood. Tina clutched the hem of her skirt tightly. "Brother, please don't come. Tina doesn't want to fight with you." A few days later, the second meeting was held as scheduled. The Holy Emperor and others were sitting in the stretched limousine. Nangong Long did not suggest changing to another car. With his strength, that was unnecessary. "Actually, you don't need to attend any talks. Just refuse directly." The Holy Emperor shook his head and said seriously, "As the head of state, I cannot refuse talks without reason." "You just think too much," Nangong Long said slowly, touching her head. Tina was ready on a tall building in the distance, with her gun aimed at the Holy Emperor. "Brother, you finally came. Tina is so sad." A gunshot broke the silence of the night. Nangong Long directly broke through the car window to block the incoming bullets. "Come on, stop the car." The driver braked immediately. "Xiaoxi, you stay here to protect the Holy Emperor." Good Kui, we are although he knew that there would be no problem with Nangong Long's strength, the Holy Emperor still couldn't help but worry. Be careful, I'll wait for you to come back. Peace of mind. Nangong Long took Busha Kui to the building where Tina was. The distance of 1,000 meters was nothing to the two of them, and they soon arrived at the destination. Why, brother, you have to come here, Tina has finally found happiness. Tina's sad and tearful voice reached Nangong Long's ears. Give up, Tina. Impossible, if I give up the mission, my existence will be meaningless. How can it be meaningless? We have met, haven't we? Tina was slightly stunned, revealing a conflicted expression as if she wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. My brother is so cunning. Come with me. Hearing Nangong Long's words, Tina's heart was moved. She really wanted to live happily with her brother forever, but her long-standing fear of Ayn Rand still made her shake her head and refuse. She would still struggle a little bit, thinking that this would be okay. There's no other way. We can only pack it up and take it away. Brother is really overbearing, but I don't hate him. Tina smiled, and her smile was very genuine and happy. Let me do it, said Busha Kui, who had been watching for a long time. Nangong Long did not object to Kui's decision, as Kui's domain was already so large that there was no possibility of losing. AAA. Tina released all her bits. She knew that it would be the most foolish thing to do to conserve her strength when facing an initiator who had reached the realm. Although Tina is a powerful participant in the new human creation plan, she is still far behind Kui, who has already reached the realm. Kui disappeared from the spot in an instant, and even the self-detecting and electronic eyes could not find Kui's location. It was destroyed by Kui one after another. Is the gap so big? Tina couldn't help but sigh in her heart. Tina, who had lost all her bits, was quickly subdued by Kui. After all, Tina was best at long-range attacks, and was much weaker in close combat than Kui. I lost, kill me. My body is the fruit of science and technology and cannot be obtained by other countries. You are my prisoner now and have no right to speak. Nangong Long picked up Tina and prepared to return to the previous place. Tina leaned her little head against Nangong Long's chest and smiled mischievously, then brother, you have to take responsibility, in every sense of the word. Kui, who was following beside her, pouted in dissatisfaction. Long, you are actually a blonde Lolita lover, right? Tina's eyes lit up. If it was true, then her chances would be very great. Why do I have to add the word Lolita complex every time? Nangong Long said helplessly. Because you, brother, are a Lolita complex. Tina and Kui spoke at the same time, surprisingly. It seems that I can't get rid of the title of Lolita Control. In this case, I'm a total control, black silk maid, royal sister, innocent, pure young lady, animal ears, flat chest, uniform. As long as they are beautiful girls, I will control them all for you to see. Tisk, isn't that just being fickle? Busha Kui complained. Tina was stunned, then she started laughing. Brother, you really don't hide your desires at all. I will work hard. Nangong Long looked at Tina in confusion. What are you working hard for? Hee. Of course I'll turn my brother into a pure blonde Lolita. No, it should be a Tina Lolita. Kui on the side couldn't help but fight back. Long is only a cat-eared Lolita control, that is, control me. The two half-grown Lolas had a heated argument about Nangong Long's preferences, and it was hard to tell that they were enemies just now.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.